never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No I'm not giving up, no I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
And welcome back to the Dennis Herrera Show, and I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. We're going to give a chance here for YouTube to send out all those notifications. We are going to be talking about illegal immigration. How does mass migration affect a country? This is a very controversial subject. Many people don't like to talk about it because, well, it's a sensitive subject. You know, it plays with your emotions. It has a lot to do with what is right, you know, what is human rights, what does God say about it. You know, some people want to use religion just to excuse their behavior for breaking the law. So we'll talk about that as well. I got a couple of videos that I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to explain why, as an immigrant, I am against illegal immigration. And that's because the economy and the people suffer for that nation. So we're going to go ahead and give it a wait here. And as you guys are coming in, go ahead and check in. Let me know you are watching. And while you're waiting, and since you guys know that this is about illegal immigration, go ahead and ask a question if you want to. I'm still not getting my notification here. Come on, YouTube, you can do it. See, I think this has been the problem a lot with YouTube, not sending notifications out there to people. Very unfortunate. Let's see if I can find it out in here. I don't see it. Let me know if you guys are. Hey, Brian is the first one in here. What? There's like, I don't know, man. There's like 3 people. There's like 25 people right now. I think 2 people already beat you with the thumbs up. It's crazy. I don't think YouTube is sending notifications out there. How are you, Brian? What is popping? Oh man, I should have put that on the title, right? I forgot about it. I should have put it on the title. We are going to, man, this is going to be a good one, guys. This is going to be a good one. Not for illegal immigrants, but for Americans to understand why illegal immigration is not a good thing for us. Now, a lot of immigrants are gonna not like me for this, but it is what it is. They don't pay my bills. They don't want to help the United States of America. They don't want to defend it. They don't want to protect it. Well, I got to do something about it, right? So we don't know. We don't go to war on the desert, on the jungles. We go to war here on YouTube. And let me see here. Let's see. Would you explain the difference between socialism and communism? Do you know the difference? Yes. Communism wants to own everything and it wants you to depend on them. Socialism, you distribute wealth, but people are still allowed to own some businesses, but yet they still have to distribute the wealth to the point where communism, they will own the businesses. They'll own the rights. And that's how they force people to do what they want. I don't understand why people try to get so politically correct with stuff. It's just like, bro, it's not good. Look at Cuba. Go find out what that is. All right, let me see here. All right, I got to go in here. Give me a second, guys. We'll go ahead and give some time for more people to come in here so that we can talk about this discussion, which is very serious. I am pretty sure you guys are going to appreciate this video. Let's see if my sister Trinity gets on. I know she's got things to do, but hopefully she gets on because she wanted to watch these videos. Come to Papa. You can do it. All right, guys. I got a feeling we're gonna have a good audience. Let's go. Let's try to maintain at least 100 views on. Maybe get more than that, even better. But I got everything ready, my friends. I got everything ready. All right, my man. These whole notifications with YouTube, I still haven't got one. I have an account, right? And I test it this way. Sometimes I get the notification, and sometimes, right now, I'm still waiting for it, and I'm already been on here for 8-9 minutes, right? I got the notification from earlier, but not for this one. So I'm not sure if if it's something that maybe I'm doing the lives a little bit too much. It doesn't allow them, time to do that. Let's see. Even on my videos before, even after I'm not live on the videos, people still want to ask me questions that they could have asked a question when I'm live. Mr. Killjoy, what's happening? What's happening? Yeah, you have to look for me sometimes. I apologize about that. We'll see. Can somebody tell me here what is the difference between socialism and communism? I've said this many times before. People don't get it when I explain it, apparently. Sean says, "Hi Dennis, your last stream ended. You just yes." Yeah, because that live stream was specifically about the 31-day shutdown. And this one is actually uh, we're actually going to talk about illegal immigration and why it's not a good thing to have mass illegal immigration in our countries. And what better example to use than to use Mexico's history? Now, this happened, a few months back, but you get to see what happened there. Hi, Brenda. Hello. And now you actually get to enjoy the whole show. Well, as long as you can stay, right? Oh, man, this is getting worse. Now I got a headache. What was it? A couple of months ago, I was doing this. I got sick. The same way, I'm trying to take some of those vitamins, immune system booster, all kinds of vitamins, and it's not helping. I have a problem. See, here's my problem, Patriots. My problem is I have this ADHD, and I have a problem with sleeping. I got central apnea. Central apnea, as far as my doctor described it to me, was, normally people have sleep apnea, and they, their breathing, it gets clogged, right? Mine doesn't get clogged. I just stop breathing, like my brain just stops breathing. Period. Now I say this: if I don't wake up in the morning, oh, thank you, Lord, right? Because I don't have to feel it. I don't have to go to the anguish and the pain and all that stuff. That's the easy way out for me. But the problem with that is I have 1,000 thoughts that just keep revolving around my head, and it just keeps that it can be a good thing because, like yesterday, right, I was on streaming for 10 hours. You guys saw me. I was here for 7 hours straight from 6 in the morning, whatever, 7 in the morning. And I can do that. It's not a problem. But it does beat the crap out of my body, right? Some people don't think it's the work that I do here, but your brain cells, they go to work. They go to work. And it's not easy to just sit here for 7 hours without moving, trying to bring content to people, But, so I have to do it. It's very hard for me to get sleep. And it sucks because if I do get like maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep in one night, I feel refreshed. Like I can see why Trump is doing what he does. That's all you need really when you get older. But with me, it's not that way. It sucks. Come on, man! I can't believe this. Okay, well, I guess nobody wants to know. Actually, you know what? Let me edit the title. I need to edit the title here. That's what I'm going to do. Edit. Come on. Here we go. Let's do that. I don't have thumbnails to attract. I don't have clickbait. I don't have clickbait for people to click on my videos. Man, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to be doing that probably a little bit too much today. I apologize. All right, we'll close that right there. Okay, here we go. All right, Brenda, thank you for caring for our country. You're very welcome, Brenda. I know Brian, man, Sean, all of you guys that are patriots, man. I mean, somebody's got to do it. What better way for a migrant that came here legally and did all the steps legally? I mean, guys, after how many years of being in this country, I became a citizen. How old was I? Not too long ago, guys. It's been less than 10 years. 6. So after 31, 32 years of being in this country, I became an American citizen. Imagine that. So, I know that if people want this really bad and this is what they look for, they're going to respect the law. They're going to respect the people. And they're just going to follow, You gotta assimilate. All right. This video that I'm going to show you first, now the second one is going to be kind of similar to it, but the other one is in Spanish. And if you guys don't speak Spanish, I will actually translate some of those as we go through. But this one, it's from, this is La Jornada. This is just one of the, some guy made a video of the news. This is just part of an actual documentary. At least some of the scenes here are part of a documentary that I remember. But it's very insightful. So let's go ahead and take a listen. And you guys go ahead and let me know what you think about this. Now, here, let's make a disclaimer before, not disclaimer, but let me just touch up on some things before we play it. Mr. Killjoy, sorry, I saw that here. Socialism is people's attempt to talking about communism like it's a positive thing. That's horrible. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. All right. So here in America, right? They see us as racist, bigots, xenophobics, etc. Right? Oh, man, I can't breathe now. They say that we are just horrible human beings. We're racist, because we want people to come here legally. Baking soda peroxido, says Mars 01, says Sosa. I don't know what channel he came into here. He came into the wrong channel. All right, well, 31 people are going to get to watch this video. And, we're always going to talk about this because not everybody's going to see it at the same time. Nobody's going to hear it at the same time. But I'm going to tell you, I think mass illegal immigration, it's bad for any country because mass illegal immigration increases the numbers of the population for cities and states who have had an allocated amount of resources and money to provide for the people in that place. Hey, Christopher, Robert. And when we don't keep track of that, you gotta have time to allow the economy to adjust, the resources to adjust to the quantity and the speed in which the population is growing. Sometimes as the population is growing too fast, it causes what the mass migration does, except it is in a massive scale. People don't see it. I mean, this country is very, very rich. So we think. But when people use the resources right away, just put it this way. The Democrats are making the excuse. Now, they voted to not add benefits to the SNAP, right, for people. They voted no against that. Not only that, but they also are trying to give the benefits to illegal immigrants, which is not supposed to be available, right? But every single one of them believes that in office. They all raised their hand when they voted for that, right? Everybody. We can't afford to have that, especially because when you do that, more people come into that place. Let me give you an example. When I was in North Carolina, a lot of people came from all over the states because in North Carolina, even from New York and all these places, it was so much easier to get a license in North Carolina or even just an ID, because you have to understand when you're illegal, if you have an actual ID from the government and you have a license, most likely the police will leave you alone because they don't have any immigration, enforcement. So if you get a license, they will never find out, the police, they will never find out that you are illegal. So they migrate to the states where you can actually get these licenses easier. And the thing with that is, once you get that license on that state, because it's a lot easier to get, all you need is to go to another state with that legal license, is legit, and then you get an address where you get a bill, like an electrical bill, a phone bill, a bank account, and you open it for that address. And then you take that to the DMV, and then boom, now you get a license from an actual state, which is hard to get a license because of restrictions. Yeah, I can't breathe. Because of restrictions, but the police won't do anything against you. Okay? So that is the scheme. You go to a state where they have less rigid rules, right? Like California has been giving this big CDL licenses, for big rigs to Indians and all these other migrants, right? It's unacceptable. But all right, so we got at least 45 people, 50 people on here. Let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at this video. Dennis, why are you like this? I can't breathe. I'm sick. And I care about the United States of America and the Americans. So I don't want anybody to come in here and destroy what's make this country beautiful and great. But don't take my word for it. Let's take a listen to some of the Mexican brothers and sisters that we have across. And let's see what they think about massive illegal immigration. Here we go. Enjoy. There we go.
The Mexican army should close its borders and ask that every Honduran or foreigner who wants to enter should do so properly, not in a violent manner like those damn invaders invaded our land.
We are not racist. We simply ask that people enter our country respectfully, respecting the laws as we would. These subsidies for Venezuelans, Colombians, and all of them are already too many. It would be better if they did something for Mexicans. Mexicans have taken direct control to expel a migrant caravan that was advancing through the south of the country, demonstrating that the patience of the citizens has reached its limit.
What are the neighbors saying? That they do not want a shelter for migrants to be set up on this property.
Because we do not want immigrants. We are invaded by migrants, and that is enough. They seem to be from here, and they treat them better than those of us who are from here, those of us who are Mexican. Enough is enough. This
Did you hear that? Now, this is not me. This is in Mexico. The same thing that we say about Americans. They put in illegal immigrants before the American people. Mexico is doing the same thing. And the Mexican people are complaining. Come here legally, they say. Don't be disrespectful. Follow the law as we follow it, says the Mexican citizen. And they think right here, this guy, who is this? Nutbag. You are a nutbag. I'm going to call you a douchebag. But this is not America. This is Mexico. And listen to what they say, and isn't it something that we say ourselves here in America? Let's continue.
caravan, made up mainly of migrants from Venezuela, Cuba, and other Central American countries, had settled in abandoned homes and temporary shelters without permission, creating chaos that the locals were no longer
Look at all these fat people. They are really suffering, guys.
willing to tolerate. They are here just for the time being, so the government should provide them with some toilets because you are beginning to realize the plague that is coming out. In other words, this is a hotbed of infection that we cannot tolerate. The citizens themselves, tired of seeing how their communities were affected by the illegal occupation of private
I'm going to point something out, and I don't know if you understand this. My mother raised me to never beg. My mother raised us that we don't beg, even if we're hungry. I want you to look at this young man right here, right here. Look at the kids' desperation. Look at these two children, who knows if they're his either, but let's pretend that they are his. Look at the way that he is on his knees begging desperately. I'm not saying, guys, I'm not saying that he doesn't have a reason to be, to ask for help. I understand that. But look at this guy. This guy is fit. This guy is fit. He's over here. What example is he giving his children if they are his? They are panicking. They are being traumatized for life. Why would you do that to your children? You know what my mother used to do to me when I was a child and she was in pain? Mama, you okay? What's wrong? Oh, I'm okay, mijo. Don't worry. Mommy, you sure you want to have a seat? I can do that. Mijo, I got this. Don't worry. Now, don't worry, I'm okay. That's what a parent does for their children. A parent, it doesn't matter how we're suffering. We got to play it cool. Why? Because we want to make sure that they grow up with a healthy mind. But these illegal immigrants that are coming here, they're destroying these children's futures. Their minds are so victimized. They are not taught to be tough and fight for their life. They're taught to beg and bend the knee to the government. That's a shame.
And public properties decided to take action with their own hands, organizing massive protests that included roadblocks and direct visits to the shelters to demand the immediate departure of the intruders. You are not welcome in this country. Get out of here.
She is one of the hundreds of Mexicans who protested. Right now we are suffering the most, right? In terms of hotbeds of infection, and honestly, to me, in my opinion, they did come to take away a bit of our peace, right? Because this was a recreational park and now what has it become?
The movement began in Chiapas, where the Freedom Caravan began its march in early October 2025 with almost 1,000 people who intended to advance north, but Mexicans did not stand idly by. In communities such as Tapachula and Tonala, groups of residents formed human and vehicular barricades to block the passage, shouting slogans such as "Get out of our country," and forcing the migrants to retreat. In other words, first of all, it was not an eviction because this is not a lodging. In other words, this is a public square, not a hotel. Videos circulating on social media show intense scenes in Tijuana and Chiapas, where citizens expelled Cuban and Venezuelan migrants from makeshift shelters, arguing that they had taken over spaces intended for locals in vulnerable situations.
Let's be clear. There is some legit asylum seekers because somebody has threatened their lives. But if they threaten their lives because they're people like Abrego Garcia, the man from Maryland, citizen of El Salvador, those people don't deserve asylum. Let them die in their country. You want to join gangs, you want to be tough enough to go and be a pedophile and smuggle people and join a gang, then live by it. No, there is not such thing as like, oh, I'm going to live as a gangster, but yet I'm going to go ahead and enjoy the freedoms of the law-abiding citizens. There is legit asylum seekers. But let's be clear, poverty is not a reason to seek asylum. Okay? And this mass migration is destroying the asylum seekers' opportunity to be in this country. And let me clarify. Asylum is temporary. It's not meant to be a permanent, you are going to be a citizen sort of help. Let's keep that clear. It doesn't matter if you have somebody that is illegal and you want them to be legal. You are not going to break the law because you have somebody in your family that is breaking the law. You understand? You got to be, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to go against your brother so that he doesn't get deported, then your ass needs to go with him and with her to your country as well. Do that. Don't pretend that you care so much that you want to help. No. If you really do, grab them by the hand and go back to your country with them. If you cannot do that, the least that you can do is respect the laws in this country and tell them, hey, listen, I love you and everything, but you know you got to go, right? You got to tell them the truth, even if it hurts. And if they want to stay here, well, they can do it the first way, which is called the nice way, NICE. They can do it the nice way and self-deport, get a plane ticket back to the country, get $1,000 once you get there. Nobody does that. No country has ever, nor will it do, ever. Or they can do it the second way. The second way is not nice. It's just ICE. And then you're going to see them slam into the ground, handcuffed, and put in the back of a car, and then get deported. So you got to tell them the truth so they don't suffer, okay? We don't want to separate families. We want to deport complete families back to the country.
We are not going to allow them to invade our homes and streets, said one protester.
They even harass the neighbors, they cook in the street. Residents of 11 neighborhoods in the southern part of the capital of Chiapas demonstrated to demand the relocation of migrants currently living on sidewalks and public spaces.
This sign right here says, we demand, let me see, what is it? Come on. I wish I can go back just a few seconds, dang it. This sign says right here, we demand, let's see what
Public spaces.
we demand action. I forget what the word in English is. Let's see. Reubicación para los migrantes. Demandamos a nuestras autoridades hacer valer nuestros derechos. Okay, so they're asking for migrants to be relocated. That's the word. And we demand our authorities to make our rights give valor or value to our rights. The community asks for solutions and to protect and respect our cities. We don't want insecurity. We don't want garbage. We don't want drugs. That's what that says. Sorry about the translation there. It's so hard for me to get some words. I don't use them as much as I used to.
They claim that they generate insecurity and public health problems.
The governors and mayors of several states quickly aligned themselves with popular pressure, implementing
Thank you,
drastic
time.
measures to block the path of the caravan. In Oaxaca and Veracruz, local authorities blocked access to key roads and denied permits for camping, while in Guerrero and Michoacán, the mayors issued direct orders to evict any migrant settlements.
In Chiapas, the community of Venezuelan migrants was evicted from the park in the San Francisco neighborhood south of Tuxtla Gutierrez due to a neighborhood protest. They did not back down. President of Mexico, the order you gave, here they are.
Hold on, SA. What is it? What did you say? The East Wing is a perfect example, yes, of how great President Donald Trump is, paying over $300 to $350 million for a ballroom that is not his property, that is he's not going to take with him to his house. This is for the White House. He wants to go down as the best president ever, and he is going to go down as the best president ever, unlike Obama, who declared himself to be the worst president, but at least he was going to go down as a president. Mic drop. Remember that? Moron.
Killing us all by beating us. It is an order from the President of Mexico.
The governor of Chiapas, for example, deployed state forces to break up gatherings and transport migrants back to the southern border, arguing that state sovereignty could not be compromised. The caravan, which had advanced barely a few hundred kilometers, completely disbanded on October 21st, with the last 70 migrants agreeing to be transported by the National Migration Institute back to their countries of origin or to border checkpoints. They want to send you back because you don't have a permit. That's when immigration comes, that's when immigration is really present. So, they take you there, take you to Tapachul, and send you back there, and your family stays here and you don't know where you are because you can't communicate with them for 3 days. Claudia Sheinbaum's presidency was quick to respond to this wave of citizen outrage. After days of intense protests and reports of direct confrontations, the federal government ordered the mass expulsion of the caravan, activating accelerated deportation protocols that included the deployment of the Mexican military to secure the route.
Those of us most in need are thrown out of the house of the Lord. Blessed are those who come in the name of the Lord. Look how they throw those of us most in need out of the house of the Lord.
We feel like dogs. Behind the caravan or in front of the caravan comes immigration and says things that are lies. The people have spoken and we are acting, said an official statement from the Ministry of the Interior, confirming that more than 800 migrants were repatriated in coordinated operations with Guatemala and other countries. This direct response marks a shift in migration policy, where the voice of ordinary Mexicans, workers, farmers, and housewives who blocked highways with their own vehicles was the catalyst for government action.
Well, like a migrant shelter in the middle of Tepito, right? They rejected that. What did they do? A federal deputy arrived and took over the building. The migrants are experiencing a series of harassment by the personnel of the National Migration Institute agents, who have forced them to get into these vehicles in order to return to their country of origin.
But this is not an isolated incident. Mexico has closed its southern border with Guatemala since late September 2025, anticipating the arrival of 2 additional caravans that threaten to repeat the chaos before
Because of Donald Trump, baby. they get to taste some of their poison that they've been giving us.
The end of the year, called the Venezuelan Exodus and the Exodus. Cuban. These massive groups estimated at thousands of people fleeing economic and political crises in their nations have already generated alerts in the region. They diverted us, it was too long, it was not what they said. That is why today we made the decision to go ahead with Mexico's permission. We asked permission from the governors, from the government of Mexico, just not to let them through.
Just to be clear, that little cross that they have in there, they don't believe in Jesus Christ. If they did, they would know that what they're doing is wrong. Let me tell you something. If you're going to use religion on this, please don't be ignorant. If you're going to use religion to carry out whatever the hell you think you're doing, number one, it's just the same thing that I told the Muslims. If your Muslim God, who you believe in, is so powerful, why do you have to come to the United States of America, which is already a most powerful country in the world, to bring your religious nonsense over here? Everybody can practice their own religion, but these people are trying to convert the whole country. So religious, it doesn't go with me on that. And you guys can argue with me about that later, but let's continue.
Mexican authorities have reported illegal crossing attempts in recent weeks, but the measures have managed to stem the flow with immediate deportations for those who manage to enter. We are not going to repeat the mistakes of the past, said the head of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, emphasizing that Mexico is firmly committed to strengthening its controls to prevent new invasions.
Early in the morning, local authorities from Migration and the National Guard set up a checkpoint at the entrance to the municipality to divert migrants to the highway. On our other border, in the south of the country, almost 2,000 members of the National Guard and the National Migration Institute were deployed to block the passage of migrants seeking to cross the Suchiate in Chiapas.
This episode highlights a radical change. Mexicans, tired of being the involuntary bridge for migrants heading to the United States, have imposed their will through direct and effective actions.
They have to take charge of sending them back to their country. I am proudly from Oaxaca. And from Mexico, mother. Let them come back, let them come back. I don't want them here. They
are being offensive, making many threats. They don't like the food, they didn't come on vacation. As the caravan fades away, the message is clear.
They're picky.
Mexico protects its borders and its people and will not tolerate any more disruptions that affect the daily lives of its citizens. With reinforced measures in place, the country is preparing for an unprecedented end to years of immigration control, prioritizing sovereignty over excessive compassion. Yeah.
Ser migrante no es fácil. Ojalá ustedes vivan lo que nosotros estamos viviendo. Sufrimos desde que salimos de nuestro país.
I bet you she's from Honduras. And she is yelling, but this is the key thing that I listen to her, okay? I don't fall for the little tears that they're throwing. Let me tell you why. I lived a poor life in Honduras, but I had my mother and I was happy. Did I want toys that other kids had? Yeah, of course I wanted toys that other kids have. But you know what? But I was happy I had my mother. Even when I starved in my country, I was happy because my mother was there. The key thing that she's saying in here, ever since she left her country, not while she was there, since she left, she has been suffering with this illegal migration. Now you're going to tell me that because they chose to come here illegally, the Mexican police and the immigration enforcement is to blame for that? I don't think so. It's not a Mexican problem. It's an illegal immigrant problem. And this little girl has the nerves to get mad at them and say all these things out loud. She should be in school in Honduras. That's what she should be. All these people think they're going to come to the States and just collect free welfare. That's not how it works, guys. That's not how it works.
Estamos sufriendo, y más que todo aquí en México.
En Chiapas, autoridades de Tapachula desalojaron un campamento de migrantes instalado en una zona verde.
Imágenes impactantes desde el corazón de la Ciudad de México, martillos en mano, vecinos enfurecidos derriban las paredes improvisadas de lo que fue, hasta hace unas horas, el campamento migrante más grande de la capital. La escena es tensa.
the point of watching this video and me talking about illegal immigration, don't worry, I'm trying to read some of your comments, okay? The point that I'm making is every single person that decides to do illegal immigration or illegal migration to another country, they know the consequences. They know the dangers. They know the price they're going to pay for disobeying the law. They know the pain. They know all this stuff. And yet, they voluntarily choose to go through that themselves. There's a saying that says, nobody really appreciates what they have until it's already gone. And that is true. I can tell you those two teenagers in there, they don't look like they were suffering in Honduras. I'll tell you that right now. They don't look like they were suffering over there.
Cruda. Patriotas mexicanos, hartos de vivir rodeados de basura, violencia y amenazas, toman justicia por su cuenta y desmantelan lo que consideran un símbolo de impunidad migratoria. Este martes al mediodía, entre gritos de México para los mexicanos y bajo el resguardo de la policía capitalina, comenzó el desalojo total del asentamiento irregular que...
Hey guys, we're not talking about ballrooms over here. This is illegal immigration. Pay attention, it's not bad. That's why you don't learn shit. You don't pay attention.
Por meses ocupó el parque público ubicado en la alcaldía Cuauhtémoc. Las lonas, los retazos de madera, los colchones abandonados, todo fue derribado por ciudadanos comunes. Obreros, comerciantes, madres solteras, jubilados.
I'm better than an immigration lawyer. You know why? Because I don't lie to the people.
Nadie más. Este campamento, levantado desde abril, albergó a más de 1,000 personas migrantes, en su mayoría de origen venezolano. Pero lo que comenzó como una solución temporal, rápidamente se convirtió en un foco de inseguridad. Enfrentamientos entre bandas rivales, robos constantes, peleas nocturnas y recientemente una trifulca entre adolescentes que dejó 2 heridos colmaron la paciencia vecinal. El operativo no fue gubernamental, fue civil, espontáneo, nacionalista, con mazos, sogas y determinación, los ciudadanos liberaron su parque. El escombro fue...
I don't know when my video started there. Did I switch it? Let me see. Yeah, I did. Okay. So this is this video right here is all Spanish. Okay. They don't have English dubbed area. But I will tell you this, that they decided to make camp across the street, you know, along the road, the side road, in the parks, and the Mexican police had to come in the middle of the night, by the way, and they did a raid, and they would just start taking stuff down and grabbing all illegal immigrants that were in this place, giving them their due process that everybody freaking complains about over here in the States, right? No due process. You show a paper that says you are not allowed to be there, you gotta go. That is the due process they get in Mexico. Okay, some people actually go to jail for that. But that is exactly what's going on over here.
Las puertas de salida obligada.
Entonces tenemos miedo, no nos queremos ir de aquí.
Se siente horrible, se siente feo. Pero claro, no lo podemos llevar porque... ¿Dónde y para dónde?
Los autobuses a veces llegan de madrugada, a oscuras, sin previo aviso. Los migrantes son despertados, alineados y escoltados hasta el límite de la selva. No hay regreso, no hay apelación. La orden es cruzar a pie, aunque enfrente solo haya jungla, humedad y abandono. La presidenta Sheinbaum lo explicó de forma categórica. México no puede cargar con el caos migratorio de otras naciones.
It says, the president of Mexico says that Mexico cannot carry with the responsibilities of other countries. But the United States has to? That's my question.
Vamos a usar todos los recursos disponibles para recuperar el orden y proteger.
We will use all resources available to restore order and peace and to protect our nation.
proteger a nuestra gente. El mensaje es claro. México dejó de ser refugio. Ahora es frontera. Y los cruces ilegales ya no se toleran.
The message is clear. Mexico stopped being a refugee to all these illegal immigrants.
Puntos de contención saturadas de peticiones
a lot of cities have been made into camps for illegals. A lot of Mexicans are suffering and they're becoming homeless.
Para fortalecer los operativos de deportación. En las calles el sentimiento es
They are strengthening the points of document checking.
Porque allá tratan súper mal a las personas, como si uno fuera un perro, nosotros no
She's Honduran, so well. She's Honduran.
Acumulada. La política migratoria ya no se debate en foros diplomáticos, se vive en las banquetas, en los parques ocupados, en los centros de...
they don't talk about illegal immigrant, with politicians, and they don't do that anymore. They are just now on the mode of emergency, And the reason why I want to share this video is because, here in the United States, we have all these illegal immigrants and a lot of sympathizers, Americans. I understand. I get it. Family, friends, etc. Oh, Trinity is here. How are you, sister? Much love to you. Thank you for being here. I smashed the before I went into my appointment. I know. That's okay. Yeah, no visa, no entry. I agree, Sylvia. It's illegal immigration, guys. For those who are not paying the bill, they can just say, oh, yeah, everybody deserves to be here. You can think that way. But that's not how it works. A lot of people suffer for it. Just think that we are supposed to have, a 2.5 reproduction here in America of citizens, American citizens, in order to sustain our balance. 2.5. We're at 1.5 right now, I think. But then you have massive illegal immigrants coming in. They need housing right away. They need food right away. How do you think that happens? How do you think that gets provided? Let me see what your comments in here are. Let me see. Okay, Roberts, every country should protect its sovereignty. 100%. Let's see, not bag. Oh, what do you say? Do you know what circular logic? What the hell? We're talking about illegal immigration. Bro, if you keep talking all this shit except for illegal immigration on here, you're out of here. I'd rather have 10 people watching than having you come over here talking about all this shit that has nothing to do with the topic of this video. Stick to the topic. Then bring up statues, educate. Oh, jeez. Notice how Dennis just waved away the problem, attacking my name instead of anything else. Classic. What are you talking about? You are a nutbag. Go back to school, brother. You sounded literate as fudge. How come? You're a beta, bro. You did absolutely nothing to be here. You can hate and be envious all you want, biatch. But I came here the right way on a 777 Boeing jet. That was beautiful. All the way from Central America straight to Seattle, Washington. Something that you wish you did. Let's say, explain seeking asylum. Yes, Jeff, asylum seekers. If there is a tragedy, a hurricane, floods, your house got lost, damaged, destroyed completely, maybe your life is in danger, you are to apply for asylum to the country next to you, next to your country. And that asylum is only temporary, while the situation in the country where you're seeking asylum from settles in. You see what I'm saying? So if a hurricane came out, boom, this disaster happened, you go to Mexico, you go to Guatemala, you go to the country next to you and apply for asylum. Notice, apply, meaning that you could also be rejected or denied. That's how asylum works. Jeremy, you are not too far from the truth, my friend. It's not quite, but very close. Let's see. Oh, you want to censor me? Nice. Shut the hell up, nutbag. Stick with the subject. That's all I'm asking. Stick with the subject. That's like, man, people are so ungrateful. You allow them to be in here, give them the communication. All I'm asking is stick with the subject. When we talk about something else, then we can talk about that. Right now, the title, I even put the title on the video for this. Illegal immigration, mass illegal immigration is not good. Ask me questions about that. Make your point to contradict me about that. Yep, time says arriba, vámonos, ahora, illegals, get out of here. So you don't know anything about immigration law, says Jeff. Please educate me, Jeff. Go ahead and tell me how mass illegal immigration is okay to do. Go ahead, go. I'll wait. I'll wait for you. You know why you can't say shit? Because it's not. And even if it wasn't a law, it is common sense, for Pete's sakes. Ken, good morning, my friend. Good morning. It's good to see you here. Time to get some patriots up in here, man. This chat is pretty dead over here. What's going on? Besides YouTube not sending out the notifications, I get it. I'm still waiting for my email to get the notification from YouTube, and they haven't sent it. That's pretty cool. Freaking useless YouTube. Let's see. Patriot, sorry for the language. Nah, don't worry about the language. I will use my language as well. Let's see. Patriot Chick. Oh, Patriot Chick. I like that. Dennis is doing more for this country than your sorry ass as well. I appreciate my Patriots. Thank you, Chick. Let's see. What you used to do in your country before you got here? I was a student. But I did mix... I worked in construction, mixing cement and sand and carrying up bricks. Yes, I was only 11 years old, 10 years old when I started doing that. What do you think about due process for illegal immigrants? I think the same thing that they're doing in Mexico for this massive illegal immigration. They are grabbing all the resources, gathering, they're not rioting, they're raiding a lot of illegal encampments. They're putting them together, checking papers, and they're porting them to the country where they come from. It's not a court date. They don't have to spend millions of pesos. They just check, what documentation do you have? You don't have documentation, where are you from? And they try to get as much information that they can from there, and if they can verify that with that country, they'll send them there. I'm pretty sure they'll just send them there anyway, if that's what they say they are with that paper. So due process, people use the 5th and the 14th Amendment for this due process. I don't think you understand what the hell that means, man. Again, if we fix the problem of the wording on it, see, people hear the word persons. I think that's the biggest mistake in the Constitution. It is American citizens. I don't understand, guys. I don't understand how people are so stupid in interpreting this, and I can't believe that judges actually agree with this. How is a constitution called for we the people? It's talking about the American, obviously the American people. Illegal immigrants didn't sign the Constitution. It was the founding fathers believing that everybody that came to this country and everybody that was born in this country was going to be an American citizen. So a person who walks in here in Seattle, from Seattle, was born in Seattle, that's an American citizen. That's a person. Well, all the people that are born in Seattle are American citizens. Those are persons. Migrants, that's a different category. They're still persons, but they're not citizens. So due process is to go to court. If you come to across the border illegally, that's a federal law that you're breaking. Your due process is the same thing that the Mexicans are giving the illegal immigrants down there, and is what? Okay, present your case. What do you got? You got papers? Yeah, okay, you can stay. You got, oh, nope, you can't stay. That's due process. There's no such thing as let's get a lawyer and see if we can magically help you stay here legally, even though you came here illegally. That's not how it works. That is not how it works. So, if you are illegal and nobody's caught you, nobody knows you're illegal, and you commit an DUIs. Here we go. DUI. They find out that you are actually illegal. The first thing they should do is call ICE, and they can deport your ass right there. Now you be like, wait a minute, I need my due process. You're right. You do need your due process. We're going to have a court date to see how long you're going to spend in jail before you are deported. Now, a lot of you ignorants out there don't understand this. But a lot of illegal immigrants that they're going after right now, they had their due process. They went to court. They found out they were illegal. They have deportation orders to right now. You got to leave the country. But because they can make another appointment in court, they stay here longer. And they make another appointment 6 months down the line, and they stay here longer. See, that's the game that we're not supposed to play. We're not stupid like that. If you think that that's the way that it should be played, you're an idiot. Because we're just going to be wasting people's money. I can't believe that in the time that we live today, we still have the ignorant people that don't understand how that works. Hey, Jeff, I'm not a lawyer, but it's common sense, ain't it? It's common sense. All right, let's see. Luis, I'm going to ignore your ass. Weddle, what's up? Texas was due to Americans illegally crossing. Slavery was abolished, but Texas wanted slaves. So that's what the Alamo is about. That's right. And the same Americans had a civil war to end that shit. And that's changed. Now, let's not forget that Texas was being governed by Mexico. It wasn't officially called Mexico, but it was governed by Mexico. The Texans were pissed off and just tired of the abusive government of Mexico that they asked the United States of America. They asked Americans if they can join and get protection by joining the United States of America, and guess what they did? So there is a lot of slavery on the southern states. We get that. That's not the argument that we have here today. But illegal immigration today, the reason why we have immigration laws is because the way economy works, the way a government works, you got to have, number one, I think, the more important one is that you have American citizens that are patriots to this country. Number one, we already struggle with that, and I can see that in many of the chats that I get through, because a lot of sympathizers, they don't like to see people getting arrested. It's not nice. It looks like somebody's being abused. But those people have broken the law, and they need to learn, and they need to be made an example of, so that others are afraid, so that others self-deport, so that others are not encouraged to come to this country. It's very simple. Why would you allow them to want to come here illegally? The first thing they're going to say, well, hey, I'm an asylum seeker. Well, shit, I can say that too. And I can be a murderer. I can be a rapist. I can be a drunk. I can be an alcoholic and pretend to be a normal, good American citizen material. And then what do you have? You got people getting killed on the freeways. I got a beer thrown out on the freeway by a Mexican that was driving drunk, throws a beer at me because he wanted to get in my lane and I didn't even know. Let's see. What do we got? Jane. Let's say, I used to live in South Texas, Corpus Christi. My family that still lives there told it's bad there. Man, I'm not sure what's going on over there. I did meet a couple of Texans. I thought they were Mexicans, to be honest. But I guess they're like a third generation American. And they're very proud. They're very proud of being American and Texans. And they don't like to be compared to Mexicans. I found that very interesting. And I don't blame them. If they're American, right? Let me see what else we got. Whether they wanted slaves, period. Yeah, I know they wanted that. All the southern states wanted that. Why? Because that's the way that they make money. The Republicans, we believe, the northern states, believe that there's other ways to make money besides slavery. And it's worked. Everybody said on the South, don't get rid of slaves because we need it for the economy. You know what? We got rid of slaves, and the economy got better. Everybody says don't get rid of illegal immigrants. I said get rid of all illegal immigrants and watch the economy go up. Everybody said that Donald Trump is crazy for doing tariffs, and look what we got today. We got the best deals in the world. America is no longer hemorrhaging money out. We are actually making money in. And it's going to take some time, but we will make that money in.
Welcome back.
We're going to go ahead and listen to some CNN here in a little bit. But questions about illegal immigrants. Martin Cifuentes, this is my job, buddy. I am working. Hey, you think the electricity is free here in America? You think the internet is free here in America, sir? You think I work for free, sir? That's not how it works. This is my job, if you didn't notice. Why do people always come in and say that to content creators? I don't understand. Every service, every entertainment, anybody that gives news, journalists, everything is a job. Even playing video games nowadays is a job. Cool Cat Renee, good morning. How are you, my friend? I'm doing a little bit under the weather, but we're good. We're good. Let's see. Wedo says depends what part of Texas. I don't know what you're talking about, Wedo. Or maybe you're talking with somebody else. Diane says, I agree with you, sir. Thank you. Texas slavery natives. Then you try to replace with African natives. If you're deported and you have an American child, do you leave your child here? Nope. You take it with you. It's what you do. You take your child with you, my friend. Don't do that. You know, I know my mother made a sacrifice, but we lost that closeness, you know. And I'm the last one in the family. I was a mama's boy. And, you know, she left me for 5 years in Honduras in order for her to get her resident car. And then she came back for me and my sister. But I lost that closeness with her. She changed so much when she left that I couldn't recognize her. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. I need to go buy some medicine. Just to suppress the symptoms. The medicine doesn't cure you. It just suppresses the symptoms. And says, I got to do lives. I gotta make sure I don't have this kind of stuff going. All right, what else we got? $300 million in a ballroom for billionaires. Dispersion. Let me give you something, okay? President Trump was golfing with his granddaughter. He made a comment in there that I thought was very nice. He says, "So, Grandpa, what is your dream?" He said, "Well, I think president was a good dream." He said, "But what after that?" He said, "Well, to dream after being president is to be a great president." And let's be honest, that ballroom, you know, you guys don't follow all the videos and stuff that we follow and we see, but let me tell you, when President Trump went to, oh my God, my head. When President Trump went to Qatar, I call it Qatar, I don't know what they call it, Qatar, and met with the Saudi prince, with all the Arabs over there. Don't worry about it, nobody's here, it's just me. Don't worry about that. Don't need to cover too much. I sneeze on the floor. You know, they showed him the big, huge temples, ballrooms. I think it's more of a temple because they gather there to pray. They show all these luxuries and all these, vanity things, and looks beautiful, and the reception and everything. And then you come back here to the Oval Office and you're like, how depressing. We're the most powerful country in the world. What is this White House shit? It needs an upgrade. It needs to be huge. It needs to show the might of the American people. So then he goes to another country. The welcoming of a king, of a prince, of a well-known leader in the world. And then we come back to the States. Underwhelming. You go into this room and you bring this guest in. You can barely fit them in the White House. Leaders of all the worlds. You got to do something. You got to step up the game, so to speak. So not only is he going to build the ballroom, actually he's building it. Not only is he doing that, it's going to cost $350 million. Whoo! That's going to be some luxury ballroom right there. I'll tell you that. The East Wing is going to be amazing. And what's going to happen when people come and visit from other countries? Man, America is great. Better respect this country. Better respect this country. It's just part of life. It is how you establish power. It's sort of like an empire, right? Everybody respects an empire. Well, what better empire than the one that actually fights for the people? Not some tyrant like the Democrats trying to make President Trump look like. Tell you what a tyrant is. Go down to South America to Venezuela. You'll find one right there. Let me see. What else you got here? Let's see. Okay, Wedo's having a conversation with somebody. Let's see. It's for events and world leaders like it should be. Oh, yeah. See, Bet knows, just like many other renovations over the decades. Exactly. I don't understand why people don't see that. Sylvia says, I agree with you, but I also agree that if you are pregnant and having babies just so we can have to take care of you, no to stop it, go pick up fruit. What? I don't understand that part. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather. Roland Grogs. How did you know that? That is my name in Spanish. Dionisio, that is correct. My mom named me Dennis because of a show that she used to love. Okay, and there is actually a lot of Dennises in Honduras, to be honest. But yeah, Dionisio, it's my name in Spanish. If you look at it translated, it is Dionisio. And Dionisio Herrera is actually the first president of Honduras as well. Maybe that's why I take so much into politics and using of common sense. It runs in the last name. That's not the Mexican Herrera, okay? That's Herrera from Honduras. All right. Even though the last name that belongs from Spaniards in my family's descendancy is through my mother, and that's Tejada. So Herrera will be from my father's side. Let's see what else we got in here. If Adem did this, he would have attacked him for the ballroom. I don't know what that means. Venezuela is a crap nation. Yeah. Well, it's not. Venezuela is actually a very beautiful and rich country, except that all the wealth is being sucked in by the Nicolas Maduro. But once we get rid of him, Venezuela will be free again and they'll be able to thrive. It will take some time, but they'll be able to thrive again. And they're going to be a great ally to the United States of America. Not forever, I'm sure, but at least for a long time. And history records will show that we freed the Venezuelan people, and that will be the reason why we will be friends in the future. Remember, I said that here in the Dennis Herrera Show. Let me see. What else we got? Okay, that's right, Paula Bear. Ken, God bless you, Patriot Dennis. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate that. JMR, all hate is welcome. You guys make me better. Jesus, you have to be joking. No. Do you know Honduras was land of Mexico in the 1800s? Yes, I remember that. Only because a guy named Carlos from Mexico forced me to go take a look at history. And I found that we were Mexicans at some point. 100%. And this is why I love my Mexican people, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to tell them to be illegal. I'm not going to tell them to break the law. So we have a lot more in common with Mexicans than Mexicans dare to accept. Thank you for that, my friend, Elver. Let's see. CWEX says that no good. That no good. And you're the one joking. I don't know who you guys are talking to because I don't see any ads on here. Bow the knee? Jake, you cannot bow the knee. Bow your head, bend the knee. Jake, you crusader, you son of a gun. Sylvia, drink fresh ginger, pure honey, and mint. Don't buy over the counter. Go natural. Oh my God, where the hell am I going to find that? Fresh ginger. Is ginger ale? Will that help? I can drink ginger ale. Oh man, my head right here, my eyes. I get migraines too, so that's not gonna help. Oh, but thank you so much, Sylvia. Thank you for the advice. My love to you. Okay. Dirty D says, Dennis just subscribed. Thanks for the stuff, brother. As a Canadian, it's refreshing to see an American citizen who appreciates what an amazing country you have. Dirty D. Man, I don't want to know what the D stands for, but Dirty David. Dirty Richard. You know what that means. All right. Cool Cat says double tap that screen if you're watching on the phone. And I appreciate, man, guys, thank you. By the time I get some compliments on here from people that are not regular on my channel, I appreciate you guys, man. Well, it says, be right back, Dennis. My fourth American citizen generation grandson is here. Aww. Give that grandson a hug from me, will you? Well, have a good time with your family, brother. You're always trying to be positive and negative at the same time. You confuse me a lot, but I think I understand where you're coming from, brother. Go spend some time with the grandkid. Let's see. All Central America was land of Mexico, free of slavery. What? No, we were slaves, my friend. Our own Mayans were enslaving our own people. You don't remember that? Because Aztecs also had slaves, which were also Aztecs. And let's not forget that the Mayans were actually going around gathering some of the weaker tribes and sacrificing them to the gods. So I'm happy that we're not living that time anymore, but you're right. I think the map showed that it goes obviously from North America, part of the United States. It went all the way down to, I think, all the way down to Panama, if I remember right from memory. I could be wrong. It could be a little bit more. But yes, we were Mexico once, and then we all became independent, and we have created borders to respect each person's individual countries. And this is why, and this is why till today we are against illegal immigration. That is true. Man says Dennis is an American citizen and a great American. Man, thank you, man. I appreciate it. You guys do make me feel special. You know, for all the patriots, if I if I use the psychology or the way that people talk about me here, calling me bootlicker and all this stuff, well, all the patriots that tell me that I'm a great American citizen, let me just tell you that you're not. You're not brown-nosing. You're not bootlicker. You're not any of those things. You are also an amazing American citizen. And that's how you earn respect, and that's how we carry along and work together. We can disagree with our opinions and our views and everything. But I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes we have to be the bad guy, so to speak. Because, you know, if I see somebody being arrested, I feel sorry for them. You know, like, hey, come on, man, be nice. Don't handle them that way. Well, at the same time, this person committed a crime, and they don't respect authority, and I don't want them to think that it's okay to be a criminal. So you know what? Close my eyes and let them get beat up. Maybe I'll go in there and throw a kick. Just kidding. But that's how I think. It's just like you just can't. Weaker tribes sided with Columbus. So as I remember from history, from school, when Christopher Columbus came in, this is something that in North America they don't teach you. But when Christopher Columbus came in, number one, he was not part of the military. He was, he was a voyager. And the military did some things to take advantage of the Indians. but it's nothing to do with Christopher Columbus. I want you to understand that. Now, we were very ignorant, meaning that we didn't know the value of the minerals that we had in our country, like gold. We had lots of gold in Honduras. And gold and silver at the, no, just gold as far as I know. Maybe silver, but I know gold for sure. And, you know, they got our attention with little trinkets. You know, some of the tribes were not savages, but there was bigger tribes like the Mayans, and they were savages. You know, they were sacrificing great warriors to some pagan gods because they were strong and, well, they were worthy of being sacrificed. What kind of stupid mentality is that? You will think this is the people you want to protect the most, right? The strongest. That's not how it worked. Well, most of the people left, but during the Christopher Columbus time, some of them joined Christopher Columbus not as slaves, as servants. That's a big difference. As servants. And they learned to speak Spanish. And Christopher Columbus used those Indians to communicate with our natives, you know, in Honduras. Of course, our history shows us that the Spaniards, since they have no word, kind of like they are right now in NATO, right? They have no word. They're the bad people right now, the Spaniards, once again in history. They somehow, they couldn't beat our Lempira, which is our Indian, okay? This is our Indian chief. We were so strong compared to them with just bows and arrows. These guys had cannons, had muskets, you know what I'm saying? Swords, and they still couldn't defeat us. So they found a way to tell our Indian, our chief, listen, these guys want peace. They want to be able to trade with you, and they want to be able to do something, you know, great for your land. So he comes out, and there's a photo, right? As I'm telling you, it's from the lecture books of Honduras. He comes out, and there's a photo of him standing on the top of a hill with just like a big drop, some rocks and stuff in the bottom. And it shows another photo of the Spaniard, you know, the Indian with the white flag, and the Spaniard behind with the musket. And as the Indian Lempira came out, the Spaniard just shot him, and he fell down and died. And unfortunately for my people, they depended a lot on this chief. So when he died, everybody else just gave up. And that's how we got colonized in Honduras. And then, of course, eventually we gained our independence, but, you know, that's a long story. Nonetheless, they were servants. They were not slaves. They were not put in chains and ball. No. A lot of them volunteered to serve because they wanted to see the new world from our new world. They wanted to see the other side of the world and you know, be with these guys, etc. And then every Indian native tribe that was going throughout South, Central, all the way to North Mexico were all being colonized by Spaniards. Thus, a lot of us speak Spanish, which is called Castilian, because it's not Spanish from Spain. It's a Spanish mixed with native tongues. And that's why we speak. Our Spanish is actually Castilian, okay? So there's the history right there. Let's see. Here in America, for some reason, they had they made a bad name for Christopher Columbus. You know, when the Indians over here in North America were being, you know, mistreated by the Spaniard soldiers, which again, Christopher Columbus was not a soldier. He went to jail, I think, 2 or 3 times, to be honest. And he didn't agree with what they were doing. And, well, the king in Spain, I think it was the king back then, actually took their side. And so Christopher Columbus got thrown in jail. And here in America, for some reason, people say that Christopher Columbus came and committed all these atrocities, but which is not true, which is why we still celebrate Christopher Columbus Day. All right, let's see what else we got. CWAG says Trump sent ice to California and there wasn't a forest fire all year. I don't think illegal immigrants make the fires out there, but that is a good point. All right, told you a story already. We still have the same amount of people. We're probably just going to get about maybe 5,000-6,000 views on this live. See, nobody cares about illegal immigration in this country as long as they're getting their money, as long as they're getting their cheap labor, as long as they don't have to put up with all the shit that they don't want to put up with. But as American citizens, we have a duty to come out here and speak the truth about it. I'm giving you guys a chance. You're getting a legal immigration point of view from a migrant that came here legally, that knows how to come here illegally as well. My mother taught me never to beg, and she also taught me that we were not going to come to this country illegally. She did not believe in that. One of my brothers did that, and she was pissed. She didn't reject it either, but she was pissed. Even I told my brother not to come here, even though I was still a little kid. Let's see. What do we got here, Oliver? What do you got? Do you know who was the strong tribe to defend Aztlan, Tlaxcaltec, Spain? Even used Tlaxcaltec to go fight Japan pirates. Oh, really? No, man. I don't know. That's why Filipinos look like Mexicans. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Mexicans look the way they look because they're Indian mixed with Spaniard. But Filipinos, they are different type of brown Indians over there. And when they mix with Spaniard, yeah, you'll probably get the same result, okay? So that's what that means. But I don't think it was Tlaxcaltec that went over there and just impregnated a bunch of Filipinas. Though you probably could. Make children safe again. Impeach TP? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. He wants to impeach the toilet paper. Let's see. The Philippines gave Mexican DNA for the Tlaxcaltec soldiers. Helped them in the battle against Japan. Let's see. Eric. Oh, man, I just missed the comment here. All right, Luis Montalvo, we're going to go ahead and read a comment from you, see what it says here. Eric, the red day would really piss off the left. Yep. All right, Luis Montalvo said, hey, Dennis, you use your hat to advertise this shit. Bro. Really low budget advertising. You see, man, I give you a chance. I try to read something to give you a chance. It's like you like being in quicksand. You know, the more you fight it, the more you sink. Ay, Luis Montalvo. Junior, you're not getting points with me, man. That's not how you're going to win me over. And but you know what? Thank you for being in here, man. I appreciate that. Azem. I don't know, Timothy. That's how I read it. Dennis is still ignoring you, Azem. Who's Azem? Oh, Azem. Here we go. Sam says, yep, keep telling yourself that. Oh, there you go. I'm not ignoring you anymore. I don't know what the hell. All right, so my patrons here, they know. Listen, guys. Not everybody does shows like this, okay? Most people like to make that one video, you know, and make everything look pretty and sound effects and special effects and keep you into this thing. I actually tell you the truth as I am talking, and then I try to read comments as I go along. I don't see a super chat from you, so it doesn't pop out for me, okay? So if you're a cheap ass and you want to demand me to answer your questions, unless you're a minor that has no money or an adult that lives in his mama's basement with no money, I understand. But if you're going to demand me to pay attention to your little question, make it a real question by putting it with a super chat. Don't be cheap. 99 cents is the beginning. If you can't afford 99 cents, you are not getting your food stamps card. I care about illegals coming here, says Ken. Yes, me too. We care about it. Keep children safe again. All right. Elmer said Tlaxcaltec versus Japanese and was the Philippines. They are good for business. 1 million. Oh my God, my head hurts. You should leave the chat because Dennis ignores you, says Tim. Yes. Azam Kam. I just saw his hat. He is trying to get himself his own show. I'm not trying. You're in it. What do you mean I'm trying to get my own show? You're in it. the morning hours is always the slowest to me, okay? But what do you mean? You are in it. I don't know what you're thinking that I'm supposed to be doing here. Let me see. Your clothes tell me everything about you. You're shallow. Okay, I get it, Mr. R. Okay. Whatever that means. I don't know what he says he's shallow. Okay, I believe you. Regular says we are dealing with a huge chunk of the population that is fighting for human trafficking, kidnappers trying to help keep kidnapped children in captivity. Yeah, it's true, Regular. Asam says the Dennis Show. Thank you, sir. It is a comic. It's a comedian guy here. Let's see. He responded to someone who is telling something bad about Trump. Thanks. I respond to what I read. Like right now, the chat is slow because there's not that many people. I get it. Let's say Seawax said, I sent the super chat yesterday and you didn't look at the video. Stop lying, bro. You stop lying. There was no video. Did you send a link? I didn't see no links. I didn't see no links yesterday. Yeah, see, I didn't think so. All right, let's see. I am baby guggle gaga. Oh, my jeez. All right, how old is Azam? Azam, are you over 18? You better be over 18 if you're in this show. Let's see. Newton says, people with red ties have soft hands. I hate red. My favorite is a very shiny silver with black suit, or I like black suit 3-piece with a navy blue shirt and a golden tie. I love that. That is my favorite. I'll tell you what. Maybe next time that I get maybe for tonight's live, I'll put a suit on, and yeah, we'll do the show on a jacket and shirt at least. Let's see. Love the hat. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. Here, guys, we seem to have a few Mexicans in here. I think it's time. Ken, should I do it? Should I? Ken? If Ken says do it, I'm going to put this hat on. Bluegrassing Man says, Red Ties is a show of power. Let's go. Oh, Colin, good morning, man. No school today? Seawax says, I did maybe the day before. History, Dad, Democrat Party. If it's a video, thanks, Colin. Yeah. I'm actually going to get a new one from Berniel. Now, just so you guys know, and this is just for my patrons that actually care, it should say DHS, okay, the initials. And then on the bottom, it should also read, the Dennis Herrera Show, so people knows what it is. Love, no hate, united, not divided, mana, no hunger. I agree with that. Flat gray suit with neat white shirt and a near white and the silver tie doesn't go there, bro. Must be a black thing. Maybe if I was black, it would probably look good on me. I get you, brother. I get you. All right, Timothy says, put on the hat, says Timothy. All right, Ken, you didn't reply, but Tim wants the hat on. Oh, nice and fresh. Oh, yeah. All right. Gulf of America for all my Mexican friends that love to hear that. I do have a couple of great hats that I have at my disposal here so that I can watch. But anyways, I'm waiting for the hat from Berniel, our brother. He already ordered it a couple of weeks ago, so I can't wait to see it. It's going to be a red hat. I'm going to say, man, I like blue. Blue is my favorite color. And the only reason why, and the only reason why I wear these reds is because I have no choice. They're in red. But you guys already know my favorite hat is the white one. And yes, it is made in the USA. The rest of my hats made in China, probably. Gulf of America, let's go. See, Timothy likes it. Ken says you're a true patriot. I appreciate you, brother. We actually made Collie laugh today. Finally, I can make him laugh. Let's see. Reginald says, when a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself, for you were foreigners in Egypt. Number one, I'm not Jew, but I get what you're saying. And so this is what I tell people. If you work with Mexicans, if you do landscape or whatever, okay, you work with Mexicans, you probably will be right probably 90% of the time. They're probably illegal. But I don't want you to be looking at Hispanics or Indians or Chinese or any other minority group out there and automatically assume that they're illegal. And don't be like this black lady at the grocery store, at the buffet. She was mad at this Mexican guy. She said, I'm going to call ICE on you. Don't do that. Don't be like that. Don't be a jerk. If they come for somebody, specifically when they come to a job for somebody, it's because they know somebody in there is illegal. Stay out of the way. Keep your mouth shut. Stay out of the way. Let the system do what it's supposed to do. Now, if you know that this business has everybody is illegal, including the owner, shut your mouth. I'm not telling you to go and tell on people. But what I'm saying is, even though I want every single illegal immigrant out of here, I will also fight for some of them. Because, even though I believe that, I also think that a lot of people should stay. Okay, that's just me. Now, people can hate me all they want, but believe me, I will fight for every migrant that deserves me fighting for them. Okay? I will do that, I promise. But stay out of the way. You don't colonize, but you also don't get in the way. The problem with Americans and residents and people that are actually legal to be here, even illegals, is that they go out there and get in front of the cars. They block roads. They're just getting, they're calling attention on themselves. So they're just making it worse for themselves. Okay? So when it comes to that saying, I agree with you. I'm going to treat every Hispanic, every person as I treat myself. Whether they be a foreigner for me, a foreigner just means stranger, right? Somebody that I'm not friends with. I'm still going to be friendly, and I'll give you a better scripture. The better scripture will be the command that you love your neighbor as you love yourself. So what is one thing that I'm going to do? I'm going to come to this country if I am allowed to come to this country because I love myself. So if I love you, I'm not going to allow you to come to this country illegally because I wouldn't do it myself. Now, if I go and clean toilets, well, you can clean toilets as well. You see how that works? So the scripture is amazing. It's perfect. But then Jesus came and put it in 2 commandments. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your, it's everything. And then the second one, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So it is very clear. Those who defend illegal immigrants and the right to work illegally and the right for them to commit fraud, which they're not rights, right? But they believe that they have the right to commit fraud and stay in this country illegally. Well, those people are one of the same. Okay? I stand for what's law and order in this country, and I think that's what makes this country go around. Guys, I'm sorry, I can't breathe sometimes. It's, it must be COVID if I'm getting sick that way. Man, ever since I took that damn jab, man, I've gotten COVID like 6 times already. And every time it's like this, it's kind of like the same symptom and the migraine, but it's always in my chest. Let's say Miguel Prieto. No, let's go with Melody first. Here we go. Melody, you were first in line. No, Diane G was first. After Ken, you made a hat. Yes, I did. The blue one? This one? Yeah, but they I thought the letters will be bigger, and then they didn't put show right in the middle. That's just what I hate when I order stuff online. It just doesn't ever come out the way that I think it will. The letters should be a lot bigger, but I'll take it. I love the hat. It's very solid. I always do this to my hats. I don't know if you guys do that, but it looks okay. It looks all right. I like it. I like it. You know what's crazy, right? We want to be supportive of small businesses and people that are trying to make a living with whatever the service they can provide, entertainment, news, politics, whatever. And there's always somebody trying to break them down. Somebody's always trying to put people down all the time. Let's see. This hat right here. Oh, no, let's go. Next is Diane says, God said to obey the laws of the land. You are in so obey our immigrant laws. Thank you, Diane. That's correct. I agree, and I believe in that. Miguel Prieto says, hats were made in China. Here we go. Let me see. You guys are so crazy. There's nothing wrong with items being made in China. All we ask is that we get a fair trade. That's all we want. All right, so this hat is from my brother, Berniel, my Mexican brother. He has this business down in Southern California. Now, he's not a sponsor of this channel, but he does have it's called Ed's Mechanica in General, okay? And they have a location in Compton, California on Atlantic Avenue and also on Southgate, California. The owners are Bernardo and Graciela. These are my Mexican brothers. As you know, you see the green and the red and the white inside. That's the tricolor of Mexico. And this hat, he told me, was made in America. I don't believe him, but let me take a look. Oh, man, I'm not even going to put this down. All right, ignore that one. Not made in America, but it was not made in China. Can somebody guess what this hat was made at? Let's see whether this one was made at. Oh, Jesus. All right, my hat was made in Bangladesh. Hey, solid hats, man. Solid hats. This was probably made in China for sure. This one was made in some country that didn't want to pay tariffs. There is no tag, but I still love it. And I think the only American hat that I have here, to be honest, is my favorite. Isn't that crazy? My favorite hat was actually made in America. I hope you guys enjoying the collection there. I have 5 different colors for my USA hats. These also don't have a tag, so I'm assuming somebody didn't want to pay tariffs. But they're still beautiful hats. And then my last one, this one's American. Wait, let's see. No, this was also made in China, but it's also one of my favorite hats. It's actually gotten too big. I don't know if my big head shrank or something. And there's a lot of hats that I have around here. That's probably why I'm losing all my hair, okay? But shh, don't tell nobody. All right, let's see who's next. Luis, here you go. Oh, I already read it. Yes, the hat is made in China. All right, Reginald says they came to my job site and grabbed everyone, even those with papers, man. So what you have to understand is when everything is cool, I can understand you getting upset about this. But when you have a mass migration, it's an invasion. And for us, as I said earlier, and you probably put this before I even said that, before I said that, but what you have to know is that there was a massive migration that happened. And so now, because of those people that didn't respect our immigration laws, and they look like us, well, now we have to prove that we are who we are. The best thing we can do is comply, cooperate. It is an inconvenience, but it's not unconstitutional for us to do our part to identify ourselves, and, well, just get out of the way if you don't want to help. Okay, but that's just my, my own humble opinion. All right, and now we get to Melody. Melody Serena says again, SNAP helps the economy. I got to read this one, but I got to head it, guys. SNAP helps the economy. For every dollar of SNAP gives $1.50, $1.08 back into the economy, secures jobs, and man, I never heard that one. I'll be honest. I never heard of that one. So now SNAP helps the economy. Okay. 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 All right. We'll leave that one for later. Let's say Miguel Prieto said Trump shaking hands with China while fentanyl coming through from China. Miguel is actually coming through Mexico and was coming through Canada. I believe Mexico is doing a better job today, controlling a little bit. It's not perfect. We are still arresting a lot of illegal immigrants that are cartels and also American citizens, which some are white, some are Mexican, Chicanos. That's just how it goes, guys. Everybody that gets greedy and they think that selling drugs is the best way to make money, man, that's never the way to go, right? We all know that. Okay, Carly says, it's all love, man. I see no side, trust no man, and believe in the higher power. I can believe that. I can cast no stone. Prayers to all in the chat. Yeah, good job, Carly. I appreciate that. I can agree with that. Regular says, Melody, in theory, yes, but all the fraud kills the benefits. Well, there you go. Thank you, Regular. Appreciate the help on that. Hey, guys, you can't complain. I'm reading all the comments as much as I can. Let's see. Raider Red says, I thought about dressing up as a Democrat or a liberal for Halloween, but my head just wouldn't fit up my ass. Hey, you know what? You're right. It's Halloween. I think today I'm going to go around wearing this hat. They're going to love this one. With my most perfect, beautiful, I love this pen. Yeah, here we go. And they're going to be like, hey, why you wearing that shit? Hey, it's Halloween, bro. It's Halloween. We get to dress up for Halloween. I get to be the evil Orange Man supporter. All right, we're going to skip some of this because I am losing track. Colin says, like you live here 5 years, buy a house, they deported you and sell the home to pay down the debt. Hold on, I missed you, Colin. Let me see. What else? It's true, SNAP helps the economy. Like 90% of users are not on it for more than 12 months. People need to eat. People need to work. Sure. Yeah, like I said, there is some benefit that I can see from that. But let's not forget that the SNAP doesn't come out of the air. It's not just free money falling from the sky. It's taxpayer dollars going to it. And I would rather have you pay with actual dollars that you work for than SNAP benefits. Okay? Let's see. All right, let's see. Karen says, okay, he's dumb. Who's dumb? I will never take credit for those comments. Beautiful Bill says, hi, how are you, my beautiful Bill? Like the big beautiful Bill or just Bill? Billy the kid. William. I am. All right, whatever. Beautiful Bill. Let's see. Gio says, that is what this guy is. Amazing. Oh, man. All right, Bet says, everything you guys are claiming who hate Dennis, you're just outing yourselves by pushing on to him the monikers that belong to you. We have some wise people on this chat. That's how it works, my friend. That's how it works. Now, here's a question for you guys, and I think I know the answer, but this is a personal question. Do you think that it will benefit me if I go to the sauna feeling like this, or do you think it'll make it worse? Now, in my opinion, I think that the dehydration from the sauna will probably make me worse, but I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. I appreciate it. Beautiful says, I love that hat. I love the USA, love Trump, love freedom, loving the Americans. I like that. I like that. Let's see. Colin says, I also agree with that 100%. I think is what he typed. Let's see. Gio says, the smart guy here is leaving this of chat. I'm leaving. Laugh out loud. Bye, Felicia. See you later, Gio, man. You take care, man. Let's see. I also agree. Okay, I read that one. Colin says, oh, yeah. Also, why not Ubi? Why Snap? What is Ubi? What's Ubi? Like the driving? Like Uber? Let's see. Don't go away, Matt. Just go away. My man. Hey, Colin, you want to call in? Let me see. Who wants to talk about EBT? Any subject on EBT. If you want to talk about any subject on EBT, you can call me right now. I'll take a couple of calls maybe. 425-583-1155. Colin, you should have my number already on there. You called before. Yeah, go ahead and call in, buddy. 425-583-1155. Yeah, I concur with Ken, Bill. Ken is also an American patriot. A fool thinks himself wise. A wise man knows himself the fool. That's so true. Let's see. Sean, your cold infection. Why spread it? Yeah, that's true. Sean, you're right, bro. You're right. Then you just killed it right there. Just one simple answer. It's infectious. Yeah, you're right. Well, my wife is not going to be saved. 425-583-1155. Let me find my chat so I can type it in. Somebody called the house number? I just heard the phone ring in the back. Let's see. Where is my damn chat here? Oh, okay, here. Let me click on that. Here, I'll put the number on there. You guys have any comments about EBT? Call me here. I think that's the one. And guys, if you're still in here, don't forget to give the thumbs up on the video. I appreciate that. Appreciate all you do for me as well. There we go. Hey, Colin, what's popping?
Hey, Dennis, it's great to talk to you.
So what do you think about EBT in general? And then just kind of give me some pointers.
Well, I know my position on this is kind of extreme, but I'd love to hear your opinion on it. I personally think that all the administrative costs and stuff in the government are ridiculous. I worked for the government for a long time, and before I worked for myself, and it was the kind of thing where you had to fill out a piece of paperwork to buy something, and then that went to someone else, and then it went to someone else. And it's the same thing with EBT and all these, affordable health care, all these different things. So my mentality is just hand people a check. Like, people are smart. They'll manage it. Don't say you can only spend it on this thing, that thing,
I see.
People, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, man, that's a lot of.
It's just.
It's taking decades, bro, to fix this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, and then I might be like I'm saying, it's a little more extreme, but it's like, why not just get rid of EBT, get rid of affordable health care, but replace it with some form of UBI.
Yeah. And
then when you have inflation with UBI, you'll have this constant redistributing of the wealth, where we really do finally have the trickle-down economics we were always promised.
Oh, so that's the UBI you're talking about.
Yeah, UBI. So universal basic income. So
okay, I got you. Thank you.
Why give someone a credit card that says, here's $50 where you can only spend it on, like Crisco and
Yeah.
the companies that have lobbied to where you can't buy local food at a farmer's market that's cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, man, there's a lot to unpack because there's decades of adjusting and this and that. So it used to be that EBT benefits, SNAP benefits, even medical, right? These have been two things that you had to separately apply for. Is when I was a migrant status, right? Even though I had a permit to be here, obviously I was a student in that status, but I was allowed to stay in this country with a permit until my green card came in. I remember since I was emancipated since I was 16 years old, right? I've been on my own since I was 16. I went and applied for food stamps, just for food, because I couldn't work full time being a student in high school. And so all I needed was food. I was paying a lady $300 a month so I can sleep in her living room. That was it, and of course to use the shower. But I just couldn't afford to buy food, and the lady was not giving me food. And so I was like, I just need to apply and see if I can get some food. Well, the requirement was that I had to be a resident for 5 years. And, well, I was by that time. I was maybe 4 years as a resident by then. And I didn't qualify. And then eventually when I turned 18, I applied again and they gave me the benefits. And then I got a second job. And then I stopped getting benefits after 3 or 4 months, I think it was. So here's the thing about SNAP. It's supposed to be a temporary solution, right? A temporary help for everybody that needs it. But you have to at least be working part-time. Like, I'm saying you got to be making that effort to work, not just sit there and, grow up and raise your children on food stamps. That's not what it's for. It's always been temporary. Every time I've applied, it's always said temporary on the paper. And the problem with that is, as great as it sounds to have it, I think is nice. I have my negatives on it, but I think it's a good thing, right, for everybody to be helped. Even those who have full-time jobs, bro. Sometimes that extra $400 or $500 of food, it helps, pay the bills. And I mean, that's what America's supposed to be about. And maybe you're kind of okay with that idea as well. But, the problem, and the really biggest problem is, like everything else, something is very good until it isn't, because people start abusing it. Well, I don't know if you were here when I was talking about Minnesota. You heard about the scandal over there with the Somalis. They had over $1 billion on EBT fraud. And you already know a lot of these issues that go where people get EBT and then they go and they sell those for half the price for real cash, and then they go buy their alcohol or whatever drugs they want.
Yeah.
So
that ties back into what I was saying earlier, where it's just like, you punch in your social security number and you could withdraw. Maybe, I don't know how you do it, but I think just handing people the money to begin with is something. You get rid of all of that kind of stuff, and then if they spend their money, and they starve, I don't want to be.
Well, that's I know I'm with you there, but that's why they have to regulate it. So, and that is my point, that it has to be regulated. So we don't want people to go buy cigarettes with it. We're not trying to vitalize the economy with SNAP. The SNAP is supposed to give you the basic, the essentials, eggs, cheese, right, milk, beans, rice, anything you can cook. That's what SNAPs is for. And then they started adding sodas, and soda's horrible for you. How about just water? If you can afford to buy soda, as little as it is, it's still kind of a luxury to have a soda. You know what I mean? So if you're in SNAP, it's because you're poor, okay, and you need that help. So I don't want you to get money so you can go buy 40s. I don't want you to get money so you can go buy drugs, because the SNAP is not meant for the economy to be boosted. It's meant for you to have that extra assistance, so that if you work part-time, or whatever it is, and you just don't have enough to buy this food or these items, that's what it's for. And then the next level of poverty is you go into the food bank.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm being too overly optimistic. With
No,
people.
I like the way that, because that is, it's a great idea, but until it's not. And that means when people abuse it. If people were responsible driving on the freeway, there'll be no speed limit. If they were responsible driving on the school zone, there would be no speed limit, you know. But
and the rules are there. The rules are there for them, you know.
Correct.
Like, you're the one that's going to get hurt.
Yep, correct. Yeah, so that's a good point. I'm with you. I mean, I wish, kind of like with I don't want to jump into a different subject, but even with illegal immigration, right? Like, I wish that we can just make everybody here legal, but then that's not going to stop other people from forcing themselves to come across the border. It makes a really horrible, option or decision to make, because then there is no boundary. You just come here, force yourself into this country until you get papers. That's not how it works. You don't force yourself. You gotta earn it. You know, you gotta have that permit. So if you're in SNAP, and you were not buying food with it, I mean, they're supposed to be able to track that. If you're not buying food with it, then you shouldn't get SNAP, because obviously you don't need it, because you'd rather smoke and drink instead of buying food. And like you said, if they're gonna go hungry and starve, that's on them. Well, that's the whole thing, that we can't allow them to go hungry and starve, even though that's what they're choosing. We don't want them that way. You know, it's kind of like some people that they don't want to talk about, stopping drugs from coming here. This is an interview from the cartel people. Okay, they said that this journalist was asking a cartel member, right, with this whole hidden face and the voices distorted, whatever. He says, "So you guys are considered a terrorist group because you are selling these drugs and you are smuggling females and children across the border." And his response, as much as it makes sense, is not right. He says, if the demand wasn't there, we wouldn't do it. And he's right, but he's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, he's right about, well, if this is the demand, somebody's got to do it. I might as well make the money with it. That's their plan. But a moral person would say, even if that's what they want, I am not going to be the tool that they're going to use to do that, because I know is immoral.
Enabler.
Exactly. I don't want to be the enabler. Correct. 100%. Anything else that you want to add to the EBT? Or as a matter of fact, since the EBT is one of the, not EBT, but SNAP is one of the issues for the government shutdown. We already know the government shutdown is because we don't want these subsidies to go to illegal immigrants. Money to go to other countries that has nothing to do with the United States of America. One of the things that I stand against Democrats is that they think that they can use money everywhere, which is nice. It's okay. We should. Why not? But the problem is they don't do anything to bring money in. They just see we have billions of dollars and they will just use it, but they don't replace it. And when we go broke, they raise our taxes and they think that's how you raise money. No, you're hurting us. You're hurting the American people. So what do you think about that?
I think part of it's perspective too. I think it's kind of a catch. I'm not really on either side, so that makes it hard for me.
I know you're in the middle. That's what I try to be. Yeah.
So it's like with on the Democratic side, you have them where they're literally raising taxes, but then on the Republic, like under Trump's first presidency, he literally doubled the monetary supply. So he printed the same amount. There was, I think, like 25 trillion or 33 trillion, and he printed another 33 trillion. So there, he just doubled the amount of money. And then I would see. So then there's something called modern monetary theory, where it says you can raise interest rates to balance out for the debt, and then you don't see inflation.
Yep.
But I personally don't subscribe to that. So then
I don't follow it.
Now I sound crazy, but I would say that doubling the monetary supply led to some inflation, especially when Biden took over, because Biden just printed more. So he with his Inflation Reduction Act, one of my big problems with that was a lot of money went towards airports and stuff that was just subsidizing the already wealthy.
Well, here, so I hear what you're saying, exactly what you're saying, and as I said, the difference between what the Republicans are doing. Now, you know I was a Democrat before, right?
Oh no, I didn't. But it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you're well educated on both
So,
sides.
I loved the Democrats before, but it's just funny. Trump just went from Democrat to Republican. That's they losing the good people. It's not that the people are bad. It's Democrats are actually Republicans now. That's how that turned out to be. But anyways, the way I see it is like this. Okay, listen, Collins. You know what? I got a budget for $1,000, bro, and I need all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really desperate. I need this money. What do you need? Well, I got this thing that I need to buy, but within a month, I can probably double that for you. Well, I know I need it right now. I'm gonna have to make a sacrifice somewhere. Here you go. But I need you to promise me you have to make an agreement. Major airlines. And who pays federal taxes from the major airlines? Everybody. All employees are federal employees. All the money that they charge from ticketing, all that stuff, everything gets taxed. So if we take care of our airports, especially with this whole new equipment, right, that they're getting in right now, we're gonna get that money back. The problem is this: if I see that Trump is investing in the airport and nothing comes back to us, what a moron! You know what I mean? Yeah, like the biggest.
That's my complaint with Biden, but Trump has done the same thing too. So that is a good explanation of why they're doing it. It's not just I do get frustrated seeing how the 1% pay for I don't remember what it was, but 2%, 1.9 trillion, and then they get just 1.9 trillion right back from the government in subsidies.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so and this is like one thing why people hate me because I defend millionaires and billionaires, but let's be honest, this country is what it is because of them. Okay, there's no doubt. So what I say is this: like us, like me, you obviously you have your own business, so you probably make more money than I do. But
no.
It's like no, not yet, not yet. Say not yet. You will. But it's just like, I pay these taxes. So I think, right? I pay these taxes, but if I get money back, that means I didn't pay taxes in my eyes. Obviously I'm paying taxes, but in my eyes, I didn't pay anything, right? Because I got a refund, and that refund was bigger than the taxes that I actually paid. Then I say I didn't pay taxes. If my refund is smaller than the taxes, then I did pay some taxes. You know what I mean? But the rich people, there is no refunds. So once in a while, you got to get them that tax cut, whether it be a business cut, tax cut, an investment tax cut. A lot of people don't understand that you can be a billionaire and owe no taxes because it's not cash taxable money. It's already paid for, or you have it invested in, for example, in stocks. There's a tax for that as well, if you didn't know. But it's like a lot of rich people. They are in debt, to be honest. With just credit, and then the businesses are making this money, but it's just really paying off credit cards that they have been taking out, and this is why they have billions of dollars. But it doesn't mean that they have billions of dollars that they're making now paying taxes on. It's a whole loophole, right? That we were not going to be able to understand.
I can explain I know how to do it. I'd be happy to teach if people want to know. But it's probably pretty boring for most people. But one of the things is just I don't know, this is like a random tidbit of financial information, but if there's people listening, it'll help. One of the reasons they're wealthy is they manage their money better, right?
Absolutely.
If it comes to the end of tax season and you're getting money back from the government, that means you paid more in taxes than you should have.
Correct.
So realistically, you've mismanaged your money. If you had invested that money at the beginning of the year, even if you at the end of the year end up owing more money because you ended up shorting the government, that's better because you're not going to pay any interest in it. So if you're using something like a credit card while paying the government extra, that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. I've done things like when I was homeless. This is back in 2006, 2006, I think it was, when I was living in Cali. What I used to do was that I came up with this thing where my taxes, supposedly, mind you, I was paying child support, right? 50% of my check. Whenever I did my taxes, I was supposed to get like maybe $1,800, maybe $2,800, right? And what I ended up doing because I wasn't getting that money, I ended up claiming exempt, tax exempt, for 3 months, and that allowed me to not owe money. I wouldn't get money anyway, but I didn't owe the state or the federal, any money for my taxes, and I was able to get a little bit more. And you just think about 3 months. They were the way that I was working. It was like over $350 a paycheck. So I mean a month, not a paycheck, a month. It was like $350 to $400 a month, and so I was able to get those extra $400, 800, 1,200 for that year, and it wasn't big, it wasn't a big deal, but it was still money that I wouldn't have gotten before, and I was able to save up a little bit, little, and then I ended up getting a roommate, etc. But there's loopholes, that we can use to get out of certain situations. But the difference is this, man, that, and I don't know if you heard this story from me before. Hey, Dot Sauce, I see you, baby. Welcome, man. Teresa, hello, how are you? Samantha, love for Trump. I see you. Snow Bunny, Trump 2028. God bless you guys. Thanks for joining my channel. Oni says we are ignorant, Colin. We're being rage. We're rage baiting. We're rage baiting here.
The first thing I'll admit is that I don't know everything, and
we don't. I don't know everything either. I'm just the reason why it seems like I know everything is only because I lived through it. That's the only reason. It's not that I know more than anybody, but if my life experience is showing to give you information, that's just what I know. It's not that I think that I know everything, but what I talk about is what I experience myself or what it makes sense to me, right? But here's the thing that I think is wrong with the SNAP system, and this is the time where I could have definitely used medical and I would have definitely been able to use food and who knows, maybe even shelter, right? Here's the problem, just like the opposite of the loop for taxes. I know this is a boring conversation for people, but it's the truth. I was making, God, geez, I don't remember what the amount is per check because I was working overtime a lot. But the amount of money that I worked when it came to gross, right, gross pay, didn't allow me to qualify for medical or for food, right? Because they assume that my check was that. That was my money to qualify for the service.
Oh, but then you had to pay child support
too. Yeah. So they will take taxes on the gross, and then they will take my 50% of my check. So just think about paying extra taxes, on the big amount, because if I would have been taxed on the smaller amount, 50% of my check, the taxes would have been a very small bracket, right? But because they count that the child support money that I haven't paid yet, they count that, tax that, and then whatever I got left over, tax 50. They took 50% of that. And so you're working with a 1/3 of a job pay, and you can't afford to live that way. And so I could have definitely, I would have benefited from SNAP. You know what I'm saying? But I was working full time. I was working overtime, but the system is broken. It needs to be fixed. Number one, we need to be more rigid when we're qualifying people. I understand.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, sorry, I interrupted. I'm not trying to.
No, it's all good.
With the SNAP benefits, though, my understanding, and I might be wrong here, but it's that the Republican Party is right now trying to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Or are they just trying to shrink them?
Yeah. Well, after all the, lately, right? We're talking about today, not 15 years ago when I was homeless. But speaking of today, we've seen all these things change. We can't hide it. We can't pretend that we don't see it. Jane here on the chat says, I used to own 2 pet grooming shops. I never got any money back from the government. Few years I broke even and didn't know the thing. But that was at times in 30 years. So but think about this one though, she's making all this money, but she's only breaking even from what she's investing. What I'm understanding is that she should be in SNAP. It doesn't matter how much money she seems to be making. She's not really making it because she's just breaking even at the end of the day, doing the business. That's why the system is broken, and they got to be able to use it. At least get medical. Even if she has her own business, and they're bringing all this money in. Well, if they have to pay employees and insurance, you got to pay all the bills. By the time that she comes out to the business, there is no actual money being brought in. So
yeah, that's a secret I've seen with all business. I live in like basically Napa in California, if you know that wine area.
Yep.
Well, yeah, very well. But all the business owners are actually secretly really broke, and they all pay their employees, and that's kind of the thing. It's like all your money goes to your employees first. Because they have families and stuff. You'll go into debt to make sure they get paid.
Yep.
And then that's the as the business owner, you walk in wearing a suit, pretending to have all this money, when in reality you're stressing just as much as everybody else, if not more.
Yeah. Yep. Man, that's good points, man. Love the call. Let's see if anybody wants to call in, brother. Thank you so much for the call.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Colin. Man, you're getting wiser by the day, brother. I can hear it.
That's your fault.
All right, we'll see you around. Late. All right, let's see. There was somebody here. Does somebody else want to have a conversation with Snap? Who was it? There was somebody here. Melody. You want to give me a call, Melody? Don't worry, I don't bite. I'm actually a lot friendlier than you think. The reason why you catch me like this sometimes when I get all passionate is because a lot of negativity comes through my channel. But it's not that I hate people, but let's have a conversation. You know what I mean? Like Colin, he has the best ideas, I think. He's his own business. He's been affected a lot by the tariffs. He has come up with better ideas to do his business, and I believe that he's going to be successful. We got to be able to find ways to break out. Oh, I see. It's okay, Melly. Don't worry about it. I just want you to know you get love from me, okay? Don't worry about going against me. That's fine. But just know that if you call, we can have a civil conversation. Last night I had somebody call in, and they were being just retarded on the phone. We just can't have that. We got to have a conversation. Wanted to act like a little kid and little brat. And so, you know what I'm saying? So there you go. Craig, Mississippi. I know everything about Snap fraud. You want to give me a call? Give me a call. Man, let me copy this freaking phone number so I don't have to keep typing. I'm a very slow typer, guys. Not that you guys noticed. All right, let's see. Homework for you, Dennis. Read the Constitution and read the Constitution. I have read it many times, sweetheart, and I have it here with me. We can always read it, but I can tell you that the interpretation that I get from it, it's always the same. It is for the American people. Many patriots agree with me on that. Let's see, Dennis, your sound keep going in and out of... I don't blame maybe this cheap microphone. Who knows, guys? Maybe once I start making money, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I do own the Constitution, a copy of the Constitution. Yes, sir. Let's see. We can go then. Okay, Dennis. All right, take it easy, Melody. One day, I'm going to open up my line so you can call. If I don't tell people to call and you have my number, it doesn't matter. I don't answer it. That's just how that works. All right, awesome. It says, that sauce says, it sounds all good. So it's all you can. It's time for a fresh hat, guys. Okay. Yeah. Go on and give me something you got in there on fraud. What kind of fraud are you seeing with EBT? Everybody pay attention so that we can talk about it. Let's see. You obviously haven't read the copy of the Constitution. Go ahead. True. Go ahead and tell me which part you think I haven't read. Mike, 100%. If you need your SNAP benefits, contact your Democrat representative and ask them to vote to open the government. Yes, because Republicans keep voting yes to open the government. Why do Oh my God, dude. Sometimes I try to wrap my head around the reasoning of the Democrats, right? They are the only ones that are voting no to reopen government. They are the ones that shut down the government. They blame the Republicans for the shutdown. They blame the Republicans for not opening the government. But they are the only ones that keep voting no to reopen the government. I already said it before very clearly. We are not going to negotiate the big, beautiful bill that has been voted. It has passed. It is what it is. We are here for the American people. We're not here to give you $1.5 trillion to send across the world. That doesn't help us. The money that you think people need, if you think $5 billion is enough to feed everybody in the whole United States of America, why you need $1.5 trillion? How about this? How about you Democrats go out there, make some money, give it to the government, and then give it to the people for free? How about you Democrats lower the taxes in your cities and states so that people can actually work a part-time job and have more money to go spend at the grocery store so they can pay less for gas? How about that? How about you actually charge us the $2.90 that we're supposed to pay for gas here in Seattle, Washington, instead of paying almost $5 a gallon? How about you reduce that? And instead of me paying $80 to fill up my tank, how about I just pay $40 to fill up my tank? How about I get to have 2 weeks worth of gas for $80 instead of 4 days worth of gas? How about that? You think that's going to help me? And if you reduce the taxes and the regulations on gas, farmers will have more fuel, more money to be able to do their jobs. Now that President Donald Trump has made a deal with China, they can sell the soybeans. Soybeans was the big deal for the farmers. Well, now they can sell everything they want. Eggs was a big deal with Democrats. Well, Trump fixed it right away. Now we got to find something else to complain and bitch about. You see how that works? Like, I don't understand. So let me see where in the Constitution I haven't been right on. Let's see. Retailer fraud is a big issue. Yeah, I know about the stores that take everything Snap now. They have gotten away with selling everything in that store with Snap. That's crazy. That's not what Snap is for. You should require an ID when using a Snap card. Absolutely. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Because I was going to say, well, if you have the PIN number, that means it's you, right? Somebody authorized. But you're right. They should show ID that is them so that they can't just like sell the card and give the PIN number so that they can use that card illegally. That's 100% that, man. Brian, I like that. I like that. Melody, the Bill of Rights, the anti-federalist supported, not the federalist. I don't know, Brian. You lost me there, Sean. I can't help you there, bro. I don't know that one. Let's see. We the people. We the people means every single person in the world because the Constitution says persons. That's the logic. That is the logic that these people use to interpret the Constitution of the United States of America. Persons. Any person seeking the pursuit of happiness, life, and liberty. Persons, they say, means them. It means the world. It doesn't mean American citizens. Screw American citizens. It's stolen land. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. Let me see. What do we want? Oh, man. So the problem with this Constitution is that it is an extended edition U.S. Constitution and amendments Articles of Confederation, Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights and Amendments, Selective Federalist and Anti-Federalist Papers. The problem with that is not just a simple constitution like you see in the Declaration of Independence. It's not just a page that you can just wrap your arms around it. When you start reading and you start looking for the 5th and the 14th Amendment that people decide to want to go fight, I'm sure it's a lot easier to just go and Google it. But it's a lot harder to actually read the damn paper. There we go. I think we read the due process the other day, and some people were still not satisfied. Okay. Now, one thing that we know is that the Supreme Court, right, has interpretations, and I don't like the way that they have interpreted. I don't know. Maybe the people were too old while they were interpreting the Constitution. I should definitely think that it should be revised. Let me see what I miss here, guys. What I miss. Let's see. Wait, what if we subsidize gas more? Retailers buy food stamps from recipients for 50 cents on the dollar. I have known that. Yep. This is true. Republicans just need 6 Democrats to vote yes. Open the government. That's right, Mac. Can't reopen the government. Colin, I agree. That makes sense. Feed all the babies. I agree. By the way, guys, Republicans have been voting to at least pay our federal. What do you call those employees? Oh my God, it's like in the back of my brain, but it doesn't want to come up to my mouth. Essential, yeah, essential federal workers. So they don't want to pay the essential federal workers and release funds for SNAP. Democrats voted no on that. Republicans voted yes on that. And they lie and tell you that Republicans are the ones that are not wanting the government to open. How can you guys not see that? Like, seriously. How can some people not see that part of it? Like, I really want to understand. Like, it's there. Like, I'm not lying to you. I'm not making it up. It's there. Go look at the votes. Go look at the results. Who voted for this and who voted for that? Go look at it. Don't listen to the Republicans or the Democrats. Go look at the votes. See what the resolutions are, and look at the nays and the yays. And look who the Democrats and who the Republicans, who do they voted for? Don't take my word for it. You go look at the scores, and then you find out for yourself. All right, we're going to read the chapter 14 of the constitutional interpretation, guys. If you guys are not excited about the Constitution, you may leave so right now, because I am going to read this extended version of it. Here we go. As you delve deeper into the workings of the United States Constitution, it's essential to understand how this living document is interpreted and applied contemporary issues. The methods of constitutional interpretation play a crucial role in shaping legal outcomes and, by extension, American society. American society. This chapter explores the various interpretive approaches used by jurists, scholars, and the Supreme Court, highlighting their principles, applications, and the debates surrounding them. 14.1 Introduction to the Constitutional Interpretation. It says the importance of the interpretation in constitutional law. The Constitution, while providing a foundational framework, contains language that can be broad, ambiguous, or silent on specific modern issues. Interpreting this document requires jurists to bridge the gap between the 18th century and the 21st century realities. Role of the Supreme Court. Well, ultimate interpreter is the Supreme Court, serves as the final authority on constitutional interpretation. Balancing act, justices must balance respect for the Constitution's text and intent with need to address contemporary societal changes. The challenges in interpretation, the ambiguity and the generality, phrases like due process and equal protection require interpretation. Changing context, advances in technology, societal values, and international relations introduce new considerations. The purpose of the interpretation methods, consistency, provide a framework for making judicial decisions. Legitimacy, ensure that interpretations are grounded and accepted with legal reasoning. Predictability, man, I can't breathe, sorry guys. Offer guidance for future cases and legal understandings. Now, we go to the 14.2 point on here, textualism. Focusing on the Constitution's plain meaning, textualism is an interpretive method that emphasizes the ordinary meaning of the Constitution's words at the same time they were written. The principles of textualism, the plain language interprets the text based on the common understanding of the words. Objective approach avoids interfering intent beyond the next against extrinsic sources. It minimizes reliance on legislative history or the framers' subjective intentions. Key advocates, Justice Hugo Black, known for his strict adherence to the text, especially regarding the First Amendment. Justice Antonin Scalia, a prominent modern textualist who argued for interpretation based on the text's original meaning. Applications in case law, District of Columbia versus Heller in 2008, issue right to bear arms under the Second Amendment. The majority opinion, Justice Scalia, focused on the next plain meaning to affirm an individual's rights to possess firearms. Advantages of textualism, limits judicial discretion, reduces the influence of personal biases. Promotes consistency, it anchors interpretation to the text, fostering stability. Critiques of textualism, context ignored, it critiques argue that ignoring historical content and purpose can lead to narrow or unjust outcomes. Ambiguities remain. The text alone may not resolve all interpretive challenges. Now, if you're hearing this, it's probably not even making sense to you because you're not listening. You're just hearing somebody reading, but you're not listening. Listening means that you're grabbing this information, you're storing it right here. You grab the information, you store it right here. When the time is right to resolve a situation, that memory will come in together, and then you guys will be able to understand what you're speaking about the Constitution of the United States of America, which again belongs to American citizens. Textualization. Now we go to 14.3, originalism. Interpreting the Constitution based on original understanding. Originalism seeks to interpret the Constitution according to the original understanding of the framers and the people at the time of its ratification. Principles of originalism, historical context emphasizes the framers' intentions and the historical circumstances. The fixed meaning, believe that the Constitution's meaning does not change over time. Opposition to judicial activism, cautions against judges inferring new rights not grounded on the original text. Man, this is big, guys. It's big. I know my old timers in here, old patriots are just listening, waiting eagerly to see what's coming out of this 14th Amendment. Hard for me to follow. I'll rewatch it. It's all good. I recommend that if you want to, you can find this on Amazon, guys. Amazon has quite a few of these copies. There's more extensive ones, but you'll definitely benefit from reading this, okay? Let me see if I can jump into structuralism, ethical interpretation. Let's go to the ethical interpretation. Let's skip a few. This is 14.8. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and read this. this chapter right here. Ethical interpretation says infusing moral philosophy into constitutional meaning. Ethical interpretation involves applying moral reasoning and fundamental ethical principles to constitutional interpretation. Principles of ethical interpretation, the moral readings, considers justice, human dignity, and moral values. Universal principles applies concepts like equality and fairness. Key advocates. Justice Thurgood Marshall advocated for interpretations that promote justice and equality. Ronald Dworkin, a legal philosopher who emphasized law as integrity, integrating moral principles. I like that one. Applications in case law. Furman versus Georgia, 1972, the death penalty. Considered the morality of capital punishment under the Eighth Amendment. Roper versus Simmons, 2005, juvenile death penalty ruled it unconstitutional to execute individuals for crimes committed as minors. Advantages of ethical interpretation, promotes justice, aims to align the law with ethical standards, addresses moral issues, it tackles complex social and moral dilemmas. Critiques of ethical interpretation, subjectivity, moral values can vary, leading to different conclusions. The judicial overreach potentially allows judges to impose personal moral views. Debates and implications, the ongoing discourse on interpretation methods. The choice of interpretive method significantly influences judicial decisions affecting legislation, individual rights, and societal norms. Judicial philosophy and court dynamics, influence on case outcomes. Justices' interpretive approaches can lead to divergent ruling on similar issues. Court composition, the balance of interpretive philosophies among justices shapes the court's direction. Political and social implications, policy impact. Court decisions can validate or invalidate laws affecting policy implementation. Public perception, the legitimacy of the court can be influenced by perceptions of judicial activism or restraint. Balancing methods, hybrid approaches, justices may combine methods considering text, intent, precedent, and consequences. Adaptation over time, interpretive methods evolve, reflecting changes in legal thought and societal values. Educational and professional importance is legal education. Understanding interpretation methods is essential for law students and practitioners. Advocacy and legislation, lawyer tailor arguments to resonate with justices' interpretation. When you read all this and you argue with me that the Constitution is not for American citizens, I very highly doubt that you read this freaking document. Very highly. Because when you go and look in Google and you look at the Fifth Amendment and you say Fifth Amendment and the 14th Amendment on, on this illegal immigration where due process and all this other stuff you got in there, that's your interpretation of what you see in the Google, but you got to read exactly what it means because the actual textualization of it is what you got to understand. Now, whether the court is deciding and using their emotional feelings and thoughts, that can corrupt the actual Constitution. So I think that the Constitution needs to be amended, number one. All right. That's enough reading for today. Let's see what we got here. Dennis trying to get the 7K for his live stream. Thank you, MG. All right, that will be okay. That will be a good start. Let's see. Hey, guess go get a job. Oh, man, why are you guys insulting my job, man? I don't go to your job and insult you there, do I? Do I go to your job and insult you? I don't tell people, hey, look at this ensembler here. That's all he does. Why are you paying him so much? He ain't doing jack squat for the company. I don't do that. Come on, guys. Damn chat, chill, says Colin. Even Colin was having a hard time there. Oh, man, Colin is a young man. He's learning. I can tell he was enjoying that lecture. That is so awesome, dude. This is why we need younger minds in Congress, in government. We need people with common sense that really want to learn and really want to look after the American people. That's who we need to have in office. Slim Shady says, if you're still MAGA after reading it, you don't listen. This guy. I'm going to tell you something right now. If it wasn't for Trump, this country would be a shithole right now. You have no idea what we have avoided. We have avoided a lot of collapsing of this great nation. I'm going to tell you right now, you better be grateful, you ungrateful mofos. If it was for you guys, this country will be destroyed already. So you're lucky that we have enough patriots in this nation that actually care about the United States of America and its citizens. I'm sick of people coming all over the world to make the United States look like a piece of shit hole, and yet that's where they want to be. And they actually leave the actual shitholes where they live to come here. So don't lecture me about the Constitution. Don't lecture me about the rights of the illegal immigrants. Don't lecture me about your due process. You don't know what that means. Oh, Frank, you want to call? Give me a call, 425-583-1155. Let me see, who was that? Slim Shady, give me a call, 425-583-1155. Come on. Go ahead and teach me some Constitution. David, I think you've asked me that before. What did Jesus say about foreign immigrants? Let me ask you this, sir. Are you going to use the whole Bible to run this country? Or are you going to separate Bible from government and run this country? You say you can't have both. You can't have both. You can have Christianity support the laws of the country, of the land. And you can believe in God. And you can pray to God that this government does a good job. Jesus said that we're supposed to love our neighbors. And we are. We don't hate them, but we don't want them here illegally. That's the difference. All right, let's see. Who's going to be the courageous soul that's going to call me and talk to me about... Oh, don't worry, the answer's coming. There's a little delay. And talk to me about how the Constitution is not for Americans. I think I copied it, yeah. Go ahead. Oh, man, what the heck? I didn't copy the 4. My bad. That's not the number. There we go. There you go. Give me a call and tell me who the Constitution belongs to. Does it belong to the American people or does it belong to the world? Yeah, don't use Jesus' words against someone. That's super effed up. Let's see. Green Substance says to support Obama but not Trump for doing the same thing is ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely. Hypocrisy is great. It's always happening, brother. Address the issue. Let's see. Beat Monsters says New York type beats. Is that, dude? What the hell is that? Is that a Nika flag on your hat? No, it's not. It's like a Tracho flag, Honduran flag. Let's see. Stefano, pushing your narratives by using Jesus' words is a terrible behavior. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Cry about it, Stefano, says the hot sauce. That's what I call that sauce. That sauce, though. That's some hot sauce. Let's see. Okay, Chris, Mississippi is for U.S. citizens only. There's an American. All right, who else thinks that the Constitution is only for citizens of America? The United States of America, not the continent, of the United States of America, the nation. David Johnson, what is the point on your question? I want to know what does Jesus say about the immigrants? See, instead of asking me questions that I'm not going to be able to answer all the time, how about you tell me what Jesus said about immigrants, and then I can give you my opinion on that. Come on, got to do some work, guys. You're not even super chatting anything. You're demanding stuff from me, but you're not paying me for my job. Pay the piper, sucker. The people that have demands, you got to pay. Let's see. Cherry picking always. Christ is king. Absolutely. Should we have demanded Jesus' papers? Believe it or not, he didn't go where he was not allowed. Any other questions? Oh, man. Sean, forever MAGA. Let's see, Krista, you completely ignore all of his illegal behaviors directly in contradiction to the Constitution. Elaborate, Krista. Go ahead. Enlighten me. I must be misreading your comment. Please do tell me who or what illegal behaviors I have shown you. David, Jesus said, Colin, thanks for the super chat. Eat that, you cheap bastards don't want to demand work and then you don't want to pay. You're a bunch of slave owners. Colin, this is how you get to see the slave owners, man. You know, it's not mandatory. Man, I know you're working hard for that money, Colin. Appreciate you. It's not mandatory to super chat. But if you want to start demanding, come on. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Let's see. Persons with legitimate status in the U.S., such as a green card, are eligible for due process as well as valid visa holders. Sure. I will go for that. Now, I will take that a little bit farther. There will be a district court due process if you committed a crime other than crossing the border illegally. For example, committing fraud using somebody else's social security. That is a felony. You will go to court for that to see if you have to pay a fine or how much in time in jail you're going to do. That's the due process that you get here in the States. Okay? All right, let's see. Anthony. I am not going to try to translate that. Stefano says, Jesus said to show love and kindness to the stranger. That's right. Which also goes to be kind to thy neighbors. Oh, and I said something better. I said, Jesus said to love thy neighbor. That's simple. It doesn't have to be foreigners. It doesn't have to be strangers. Just thy neighbor, the person right next to you. No, we can love them. I love everybody, but I don't love their bad habits. I don't love criminals breaking the law. I love people, period, but not what they do illegally. That's not how it works. All right, let's give something to these demo libtards in here. And let's see, I haven't heard what these Democrats in trouble as they lose CNN's support. Let's find out together what's going on this part of the world. Let's stretch that one out there. And yeah. Okay, here we go.
Back to Stars and Gripes, and tonight cracks are starting to appear in the left-wing media's support for the Democrats over the government shutdown.
Should the Democratic senators from New Mexico, your home state, vote to open the government so that these SNAP funds are not at risk?
Let me be clear. The administration is choosing to starve American children with money that they already have appropriated.
I'm not applauding
I'm not applauding
their
by
tactics.
The White House.
Well,
this is a choice by the White House.
This is also,
Congresswoman,
this is also a choice by Senate Democrats to not vote to open the government. Yes, it is. I understand why they're doing it. They're doing it because they want Medicaid funds restored. They're doing it because they want Obamacare premiums to be extended past the end of the year. I understand the reasoning.
Sir, let me just be clear. The money for contingency plans is sitting there. That is why the states are suing. The White House is withholding funds from
2 to 3 weeks worth of SNAP funds. Yeah.
Well, joining me to discuss is Gabriella Power, host of Power Hour. This is an interesting one because CNN, Jake Tapper.
Wait, before we continue with that, Jake, you just heard that, right? The Democrats blame the Republicans right away. Now, you guys like to call us liars. You like to come over here and stirs the pot. I get it. I get it. I hope that you're here to get information, a neutral information, so that you can make up a decision of what's really going on. You know the reason why I like Colin? Because Colin doesn't agree with me. He tries to make sense of things himself. And that's exactly what you should do. If you are in this channel and you are already opposing me, what you should do is try to get educated. Not that I'm more educated than you. I want to make that clear. I'm not trying to put you down. But I really want you to look at the facts. And then once we are on the same page, then we can work together as a united nation. People, stop. When you come over here, don't look at red, don't look at white. Ignore my freedom of speech. I have the right for that. I support this. You can still wear, you can come on and wear your Biden Kamala hat, and I'm okay with that. You can support any Democratic, I don't care. You can put Dalabama on there. You can put whoever, AOC. I don't care. That is your freedom of speech, your freedom of expression. I am okay. You know what I love about going to the football games? That I can wear my Seahawks jersey and sit right next to a 49ers fan. And then the other guy is a Giants fan, and then a Philadelphia fan. We all have our groups and teams that we support, but at the end of the day, salud. Whether you're drinking beer, juice, pineapple, whatever the hell you're doing, that's exactly how this country is supposed to be. If I am sitting in a soccer game, I'm going to root for Honduras against Mexico. We're probably going to get our ass kicked by Mexico, but nonetheless, I'm going to root for Honduras. Every single play that comes up, go Catrachos! You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to support that. But I'm not going to be hating my Mexican friend, my Mexican brother next to me. That's not how it works. You know what? We can sit here, watch a football game with the fam, and we have a Green Bay Packer fan, we have me as a Seattle fan, and we have a Steelers fan, and we got a Titans fan. We're all sitting there watching the game, even with our 49er fan. We're all sitting in here. It doesn't matter if our team is playing or not. We're wearing our jerseys. But we get along. We're all part of the same family. Here, we're all Americans. I mean, the only people that shouldn't like us, I get it, is the illegal immigrants that don't belong here. But everybody else that belongs here, that's a citizen or at least a resident, we should be able to have that communication, have that conversation. And I know we make fun of each other, but listen, if you make fun of me, I should be able to make fun of you. And if you're going to insult me, I should be able to insult you right back. I think that's fair to say, right? Stop playing semantics, bro. This is a live chat. It's called the Dennis Herrera Show. Here we go. Let's see what this guy said. This guy's actually pretty good. Anthony, Dennis, do you support cutting down SNAP? Yes. But not for the people that need it. For example, any disabled person, like real disabled person, deserves to have SNAP. I think any single mother that is working, at least part-time, I believe the big, beautiful bill calls for at least 20 hours a week. If you have, listen to this, if you have a child that has turned 7 years old or older, so anything between under 18 and above 7 years old. Why is that? Because at the age of 7, most likely your son or child will be going to school. Now, why do they say at least part-time, 4 hours? If your school starts at 7:30 for your kid, school bus picks them up at 7 o'clock, you can go to work from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. because at 12 p.m. sometimes the schools have early dismissals for Fridays at 12:30. Gives you enough time to come back home and be there for your child when they get home from school. But you have to adhere to that schedule. And I think every employer should adhere to giving you those hours, okay? That's what I believe. Now, if you work those 20 hours a week, you're going to be paying taxes. You're going to be giving money back to the country. And then you are actually paying yourself somewhat of that SNAP benefit back to you. It's not that hard, guys. If you make all these able-bodied to work people, body able to work. Sorry, I speak backwards sometimes. The body able to work people to pay some of those taxes by working. Number one, you're providing a service to an employer, and you're making money for yourself, and you're paying taxes on that. Which, by the way, at the end of the year, you can claim your taxes, and you're gonna get a lot more money back on your tax returns. So there is no bitching, moaning, and there's no losing for you. It's a win-win. Okay? Republicans want you to be reliant on yourself, not on the government. The only people that I agree with getting benefits is not these punk-ass kids on the street like Slim Shady, and and then they're going out there using food stamps, selling it 50% of what it's worth so that they can go buy their weed, so they can buy their 40s and smoke and be ghetto and never make anything of themselves except a hater gangbanger that has no life goals and therefore decides to destroy this country. That's not what we want. I think there's too many people out there not working. They should be working. Keep your minds busy so you don't think about stupid things to do against society. That's what I think about that.
He's the types of people that would unapologetically just adopt the talking points from the Democrats.
Absolutely.
And it's still, I mean, that was really the bare minimum, so we can't celebrate too hard.
Can't give them too much credit.
Just yet. But at least they're just saying, well, you do know it takes two to tango, and should you want...
All right, I like that. Big tax cut for the rich. Yes, absolutely. We need to make sure that they're able to continue to make money so that they can continue to provide employment, so that they can continue to feed our economy. That's how that works. If you want to be rich, by all means, you live in a capital world and a capital country. Go do that. Instead of sitting there nagging and bitching and whining and complaining about somebody else is rich, oh my God, how unfair. Shut the hell up. Stop playing the victim. Get off your ass and go make some money. Go make some investments. Go sacrifice your life 7 days a week, 20 hours a day. Go do that. Go do the hard work and then talk shit when you become a millionaire. Start blessing people, man, so that you can get blessed. You're broke, you're bitter, you're sad, you're angry because you cannot love other people. You can't love yourself, so you hate other people. Get off your ass and go become rich. And stop bitching and complaining about it. You don't see me complaining about the rich and the billionaire. I'm broke, I'm poor. What? So what? I still got food on the table. No, I don't get no food stamps. No, I don't get no free medical. When I say I'm poor, it's like I'm not making that much money. But I don't sit here and bitch and complain about millionaires and billionaires. If I'm going to sit there and bitch and complain about them, it's because I'm one of them. Oh, I think I should pay more. Nobody says that. Nobody says I'm making over $1 million a year. Oh, I should pay 50% of my check. Nobody says that. So shut up with that stupid nonsense. Get your ass a double job so you can make some more money. See, the whole idea about working is you're helping yourself come up in the world. If you want to make more money, get a second job or get a better job. The only reason why you need a university back then was so that you can become a doctor, a lawyer, something that needs a specialty teaching. No, people go to the university now so they can become painters. What the hell? What the hell? Oh, man. Hell no. DOA knife. I'm not the one bitching about the rich, am I? I'm not bitching about millionaires and billionaires paying taxes. You are. And that's my point. Unless you get off your ass and go to work and you're doing the same thing that they're doing, then you can say something. But that's why I support them. I respect them because they've done something better than me. That's respect. Respect is earned, and they got my respect. You know who's going to help me at some point? Maybe one day I'll get a rich guy coming through my channel, and they'll be like, I like the way that guy thinks. You know what? I'm going to do something for that guy. It happens. You know what? And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. God bless them. I want them to be more prosperous. And I want to pray that they do something here in our country. That's what I would do.
Want an end, you could have the end.
Yes.
And that bare minimum flummoxed the guest. And they didn't know how to respond to it.
They don't have
That's my favourite part of it.
Well, it's a really tricky one for Democrats to defend when they have voted more than a dozen times to block a GOP bill that would reopen the government. So, you know, the Democrats are really in trouble when they've lost left-wing outlets like CNN. They've also lost the support of the Washington Post editorial board that put out this week that Democrats openly acknowledge that they are refusing to open the government because it would mean giving up their leverage. It's interesting, CNN also reported this week that during the few weeks that the government has been in shutdown, in terms of popularity, Republicans' polling numbers have actually increased and Democrats have gone down.
Is that right?
That's right, I know. So this shutdown, it's not reflecting well on the Democrats, and I think American people can really see through it.
That's right. The American people can see right through it. Now, let me answer a couple of comments that I find interesting here. Thank you, Jorona. You're right. The rich keep this economy going, not the poor. He complains about feeding children, but not billion. What the hell? Who is? It's not me, right? It's probably not me. Sergio Mata says the rich are disgusted by you. Sergio, let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something. President Donald Trump can hate me. I can disgust him. He can call me whatever he wants to call me. You know what? You're nothing to me. You're just a poor man. I'm a rich man. He can say all that he wants. But what I care about is what he's doing for the country. And that, my friend, I respect. And I will agree with him. Maybe I am nobody. But what he's doing for the country, I respect. And I will back him up for that, even if I disgust him. Because it's not about me. It's about our country. And we got to make decisions to protect this country.
Thought that it was a good idea to play chicken with Donald Trump. You know, he wants less spending in the government. It's a win-win for him. Whether or not that, obviously, there's a negative impact for people's lives. But it was a terrible idea to think that you were actually going to pull that off and he wouldn't just hold his nerve.
Yeah, and the thing is, there are concerns that the fallout's going to continue from this, as airport staff might not be turning up to work, and also the government may stop distributing food stamps, so it is impacting people. Meanwhile,
as soon as we get done with this little quick video here, I will open up my line and you can give me those receipts, Krista.
Democrats are refusing to vote to reopen the government. And what's Donald Trump doing? He's scoring massive wins on the world stage. I mean, look at him this week in his tour of Asia. I mean, absolutely, with trade deals, another historic peace agreement between Thailand, Cambodia.
That's my receipts.
Anyway, so he's winning again on the world stage. And Democrats, they need to get their act together.
All those journalists who were writing a few months ago about how he would destroy the world with tariffs, I haven't heard much from them lately. It's very interesting.
They've gone quiet on that one, haven't they?
But let's move on, because we've got to talk about the Kamala Harris book publicity tour, which continues to, in my opinion, cause her more harm than good, especially with this hilarious interview on Jon Stewart.
I believe he was fully competent to serve.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
That surprises me, actually.
No, I do.
Oh, shit. Oh, look at the guy's face. Just so you know, I have not watched this clip yet. I grabbed it from CNN just to show you that I will watch the CNN news as well. Oh, man. Oh, Krista. Don't worry. I have a show later tonight. Oh, my God. Look at his face. He's like, Did Kamala really say that? Even Jon Stewart is like, wait a minute. Even Jon Stewart says, are you serious? Wait, I gotta play that again. Oh my God, dude, that's funny.
Especially with this hilarious interview on Jon Stewart.
I believe he was fully competent to serve.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Look at Stewart's face.
That surprises me, actually.
That says it all right there. Let's see. Oh, come on. Let me see that face. All right, forget it.
It's just so absurd. And it's just the point, if you cannot make a concession on this point, and we know why she doesn't want to make a concession, because if she makes a concession, then she's lied about it, because she backed it in, day out, when there were clear cognitive issues. But if she can't make a concession about that, it goes to the heart of integrity.
Every American knows, everyone around the world knows that she was lying, like during those 4 years.
Everyone
we all
around
saw
the
Joe
world.
Biden's cognitive decline. I think after all this time,
Everyone around the world knows it. Are you Tarzan here? Do you guys know that as well?
she still has nothing else to say apart from still spinning up those lies. The truth is, the more people watch Kamala Harris, the less they like her. I mean, you even see left-leaning journalists really shocked by her answer. Really, after all this time, she's got nothing else to offer. I mean, I've sat through so many Kamala Harris interviews. She gives the same answers and they're all delivered terribly. She's still getting caught up on tricked up on her words, word salad after word salad. She's not clear. She's making a pretty terrible argument, by the way, as to why she should be elected president. I mean, she argued there that that Joe Biden, he was fit enough to run for president. Sorry, he was fit enough to be president, but running, that's a different story. So she's essentially saying it's a tougher job to be in the election campaign than it is to be president. So if she was to be elected president, then she would get in, put her heels
David, hold on. I'll open up the line. You can call me, okay? Hold on.
back, sit back, relax, go to the beach. I mean, do what Joe Biden did, have a sleep half the time.
Well, they loved it.
Job.
They loved it because they could secretly run the country being unelected officials.
Yeah.
And so this was an arrangement which not only they endorsed, but they actually benefited from it. And she was one of these people who benefited because she was doing things like shaping policy and moving chess pieces around when you had the bloke who was supposed to be doing it, who was voted in doing it, who was incapable. So, of course.
And he was at the beach half the time. I mean, he took more holidays. He did. He took more holidays than any other president.
Which is a good gig if you can get it.
Which is why Kamala Harris wants it. She's saying that, you know, the election campaign itself,
There's
that's
nobody
the
there,
tough part
Biden.
of the job, but then actually being president, that's the easy part. I mean, look, again.
You guys remember that salute? And they had the camera on the other side, and there's nobody on that side where Biden is over there.
Looking at Donald Trump and what he's been able to achieve in this just short period of time, hasn't even been a year, has been extraordinary. There is no way that Kamala Harris could achieve half of what Donald Trump has done.
Now, doesn't Jon Stewart have the most brilliant interviewing style? And I know he's a bit of a lefty, but I've always been a fan of Jon Stewart. And I do think he's one of those rare people on the left who, when there is the absurdity of a claim like that, he is one of the few who will actually call it out. And he'll do it with a bit of satire. Yeah, and I love the look on his face, just kind of the raised eyebrows, just looking incredulously at her.
Because it's hard to believe. It's like, really, after all this time, Joe Biden was fit to be president. It absolutely makes no sense. I mean, Kamala with her media tour right now, promoting her book, 107 Days, also trying to test the water if she can run again to be president. I don't think this is going to help her.
Why would you do it, though? Because I understand that she wants to sell books, but I don't imagine she needs money that much. She's destroying her own reputation, and she's doing interview after. I mean, she even did one on the ABC. We spoke about it earlier in the show with the earlier panel, and she's sitting there getting grilled by Sarah Ferguson. Why would you do that to yourself?
It's so funny. I mean, watching Kamala Harris really become quite testy with Sarah Ferguson there. At one point, she was upset that Sarah Ferguson was asking about Joe Biden and not asking her about the book. I'm here to promote the book. Stop asking me these questions. It's a curious question. I mean, all all the deflection.
The aide also stopped the interview at one point.
I know.
There's a clip on Instagram of Sarah Ferguson explaining it,
It's a 20-minute interview. It wasn't a Joe Rogan 3-hour sit-down. I mean, you're getting Kamala Harris giving you the same answer.
Because
she
she's
didn't have
crashing.
enough time.
She was crashing out.
Yeah, she really was. She's getting worse. She also started that interview by saying how tired she was. She started the interview saying, I've had 4 hours sleep. It always takes me a day.
It is a tough flight.
Oh my gosh, but it tells you so much about her energy levels and what she would be like if she was really in
whereas
top
Trump
dog.
just goes.
He goes there and he busts out the dance moves. Yeah.
All right, moving on, because hard left broadcaster MSNBC is actually angry with CNN, and it might just be our favourite feud of the year.
And now CNN eagerly pays a Trump supporter to lie on CNN every day and night for Donald Trump. CNN did this during the first Trump presidential campaign and presidency. CNN regularly paid Trump supporters to lie about Trump on CNN, but the CNN regime then realized that was a mistake. And they stopped doing it. They stopped paying for lies. But then CNN got a new head. The head of CNN for the last 3 years, hired by the Trump-supporting owner and operator of CNN, is an Englishman who thinks paying Scott Jennings to lie about Donald Trump is money very well spent. Scott Jennings, who used to be an aide to Senator Mitch McConnell, was not always a rabid, lying Trump supporter. When he first started appearing on television, he was capable of criticizing some of the more extreme Trump positions, but Scott Jennings figured out where the money is and how he could get his own podcast and decided to become the J.D. Vance of CNN.
Okay, first of all, how about some of that language? A lying, rabid Trump supporter, the use of these kind of inflammatory, these inflammatory qualifiers. But what I see from this is really interesting to me, because what we're seeing is MSNBC trying to carve out what their market proposition is, and they're trying to say, hey, this is our space that we're playing.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and let those wolves eat themselves. But I will say this. Let's go ahead and take a look at, let me see where this is at. Let's take a look at the 14th Amendment so you guys can have some thought for food here. Let me see. I'm going to put this here. Let's go ahead and go read an article here real quick. So you guys will enjoy this. So this is not something new that has happened, or this is an article from Brennan Center for Justice. I'm sure you guys have seen this. Let's take a look at this. I want to do it just for you guys that are in here supporting this chat today. Let's read it together. Here we go. So this is the birthright citizenship under the United States Constitution. The 14th Amendment has long been understood to grant American citizenship to anyone born in this country. Yeah, I understand that. You know, we had slaves. Well, they became free men, and well, those slaves, they had children. They were not born slaves. They were born free. If you were a slave in Africa, you were born into slavery. You automatically were a slave. Here in the United States of America, every person that was born in the United States of America becomes a citizen by birthright. Now, that doesn't mean everybody that comes to visit. Slaves were actually residents of this country. Therefore, those persons, children, were born American citizens. But let's continue, because it's more than that. And I want you to understand something. It's nothing about hating kids from illegal parents, but it's about a national security problem. You don't get it because you're ignorant or you don't want to understand it. But here we go. Let's go ahead and read this article real quick, and let's go ahead and digest it. I'm sure that you guys will read something different than I will. Let me see if I can expand this a little bit so I can make it bigger for you guys. Oh, Jesus, I made this picture too small. Oh, my goodness. Display here. Oh, my gosh, seriously? Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to make this bigger for your eyes to be able to read. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So here we go. Let me read a couple of comments here before I start reading this document. Let's see. Con says you weren't an automatic slave in Africa. Conscious, bro. Here, let me say it again because you didn't listen what I said. Listen to what I say. If you were a slave in Africa and you made children, those children will also be slaves. Capiche? If there were slaves here in America, those children were not slaves. They were freeborn. Bro, listen, man. You guys don't listen. You guys just hear things, but you got to listen. All right, so let's go ahead and continue this. All right, this says, on the first day in office, President Trump issued an executive order attempting to end the 14th Amendment, guaranteed of birthright citizenship. State attorneys, general civil rights organizations, and immigrant rights groups soon filed lawsuits challenging the order in federal courts around the country. Here's what to know about birthright citizenship as these cases play out. Okay? Let's see. Man, you better go look up that history. You better go look at the slavery history in Africa. I know you're a black man, but that doesn't mean that you know your history. If you don't pay attention in school, if you didn't learn world history, American history, you don't know history then, my friend. You better go read some of that shit. I'll tell you what I remember. Now, if there is some exceptions on there, that's some exceptions, but that was happening. All right, here we go. What does the 14th Amendment say about birthright citizenship? Section 1 of the 14th Amendment states, all persons, I love this one, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. All three branches of government have long interpreted this language to signal a broad grant of citizenship, which I think, if you read the contextualism of the Constitution, that itself right there is wrong. To abroad is wrong. You're reading the Constitution. It's not meant to be abroad. The Constitution is meant for the American citizens. Here we go. Now, if you're an American citizen, you can also be considered part of the we the people because you're here legally. Okay, residents, citizens. The only difference between residents is you don't have the right to vote. Okay, that's like a testing time before you become an American citizen. But you can become an American citizen after that. Here we go. In keeping with that understanding, the Supreme Court ruled in the 1898 case, United States versus Wong Kim Ark, that the 14th Amendment guarantees birthright citizenship to anyone born in the United States, including the children of parents who are not U.S. citizens. See, that's where I disagree. There are only a few narrow exceptions. For instance, U.S.-born children of foreign ambassadors would not be considered American citizens. Now, very interesting, right? Very interesting that they will make an exception for a foreign ambassador who has the legal right to be here. But anybody that is illegal in this country for some reason has the right to become citizen, I disagree with that. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with the Constitution. I disagree with that interpretation. I think the interpretation of the Constitution is wrong. But the Constitution is right. The impeachment article, one powers, congressional. Krista, if you're at work, why are you texting? I said call me. So if you have the time to text, you can definitely talk. Let's see. What does Trump's executive order claim to do to birthright citizenship? Well, Executive Order 14160 purports to deny citizenship to any baby born in the United States to a mother who is present unlawfully, okay, or lawfully but temporarily, and a father who is not a United States citizen or lawful permanent resident. In other words, under this order, the U.S.-born children of undocumented immigrants and by the way, it's illegal immigrants, and the children of parents residing in the country under temporary legal authorization, such as student visas. You're here to study, not to make children. And work visas. You're here to work, not to make children. Would not be considered U.S. citizens. The order directs federal departments and agencies to deny documents recognizing United States citizenship to these children. While the order doesn't specify that what this means, it express mention. All right. Thank you, Chili. What question you have? They should be happy we are giving them a free ride home. They should be charged with crimes. Thank you for the super chat. And yeah, I agree. But I think that, as Americans, we have a better heart than that. And I think it's very nice of this administration to offer them a plane ticket ride back to their country and $1,000 once they land. I would have taken that deal anytime if I was ever here illegally. That would be awesome. All right, so here we go. I'm a naturalized American citizen. Now, the reason why that is legit is because my mother was a resident and I was never illegal in this country. You see, I was never able to become an American until I was actually able to go through the process. Now, my children, because I was a resident when I had my first kid, he was an American citizen born because I was a green card holder or an alien resident card holder, okay? Now, if I, as an American citizen, and I want you to pay attention, listen, because people don't listen, they just hear. As an American citizen, any child, because this is the same meaning of our Constitution, if any child in the world was mine pending a paternity test, that child, whether it was born in China, Japan, Iraq, Honduras, South America, it doesn't matter where that child was born, because I am the father, his citizenship is the same as mine immediately after proving he's my son. It is the same logic in which I interpret the Constitution, which belongs to the American people. If I am a Honduran father and I come and bear a child, I make a child here with another illegal woman, my child, whether he was born here in America or not, has my citizenship as the father. Meaning that even though he was born in America, in the United States of America, he is still a Honduran child. And that's how I interpret this part of the Constitution. You cannot say rules for thee and none for me. That's how I interpret it. So let's continue reading that. Let's see. Now, this document might contradict me, but that's not what I believe. And again, if you were not here for the lesson, we just finished reading it, okay? So if you're not here for the lesson, sorry for you, my friends. All right. Here we go. Let's see. We'll still presumably birth certificate. Okay, so here we go. While the order doesn't specify what this means, it express mention of the Secretary of State and the Commissioner of Social Security suggests that it would bar affected children from receiving passports and Social Security numbers, among other documents. The children will still presumably get birth certificates, which are issued by local governments, but this will no longer necessarily be considered proof of U.S. citizenship. Now, here we go. Where is let's see, why is there a citizenship clause in the 14th Amendment? This is probably what you guys believe, and it's okay. It's okay. The citizenship clause sought to resolve once and for all a long-running debate about who was entitled to U.S. citizenship until the 14th Amendment's ratification of 1868. The Constitution and early federal law were largely silent on that matter. Early court opinions generally held to the long-standing common law rule that people born in the country were American citizens. Thanks for the sub. Or at least that was the case for white people born in this country. White people. the legal status of enslaved people and the large and growing population of the free black people. That's right, black people. Not all black people were slaves. Everybody believes that. But not all black people were slaves. For the free black people was left unresolved. Without the protections of citizenship, free black people in the country face violence and the risk of forced relocation. Free black advocates pushed for a broad guarantee of birthright citizenship that would include them and all other people born in the United States. So it sounds to me that those persons are Americans, and those persons that were born here were born from slaves that were already here. And they were guaranteed to be part of this country. So when they became citizens, the blacks, when they became citizens, all blacks became American citizens that were in this country. Am I understanding that right? That's where we're going, I think, right? Now remember that black people were not considered a whole person back then. There was some prejudice and some racism in some southern states, but the northern states didn't see it that way and saw them as equal. Thus, the Civil War and a lot of white people died to free a lot of black southern slaves. All right, here we go. The Supreme Court rejected their bid in the infamous Dred Scott versus Sanford decision in 1857, case widely considered to be a stain on the court's legacy. Writing for the majority, Chief Justice Roger Taney argued that black people, whether enslaved or free, were not and could never be American citizens. To Taney, citizenship was a status that the government could bestow at its discretion, and that the founders had chosen not to extend to black people. In the aftermath of the Civil War, Republicans in Congress fiercely repudiated Dred Scott, culminating in the passage of the 14th Amendment. There, they constitutionalized a broad and inclusive grant of birthright citizenship, removing from politics going forward the question of who is a citizen. For more on the history of the Citizen Clause, see the Friend of the Court brief from Professors Martha Jones and Kate Masur filed in a lawsuit challenging Trump's executive order. Now, was the 14th Amendment meant to apply to the children of immigrants living in the United States? Here we go, guys. Here we go. This is probably where I'm going to disagree with them. Congressional records indicate that the 14th Amendment's broad guarantee of birthright citizenship was always intended to include the children of immigrants, regardless of their parents' legal status. Now, we just read specifically black people were not made citizens. And so, therefore, we had to add that if they were born in this country, they will become American citizens. Now, I like how this word in here uses illegal immigrants in here, but the Constitution does not label illegal immigrants. The Constitution talks only about the whites and the blacks in this country. And I hope you don't forget that, because it does not say illegal immigrants. That's not what the Constitution or the amendments are for. You see, black people, as most of the white people from the northern states believe that black people should be free. And as free people, they should also be Americans because they were porting to this country. And therefore, black people are the same as white people. And this is why one person becomes persons in plural, meaning white and black. It does not say illegal immigrants. It does not say anybody visiting. It says any person born in this country. But it's very specific about who it's talking about. It's talking about Americans, not talking about illegal immigration. But let's go ahead and go with this wording. When Congress debated the language of the Citizenship Clause in 1866, if I was there, it would be different. Senator Jacob Howard explained that the clause was simply declaratory of the law of the land already, that every person born within the limits of the United States and subject to the jurisdiction is by virtue of natural law and national law a citizen of the United States of America. Several lawmakers expressed concerns that such a broad guarantee would extend citizenship to the children of immigrants. Senator John Connors affirmed, there was a smart person back then, guys. John Connors affirmed that the proposed language declares that the children of all parentage should be regarded and treated as citizens of the United States, entitled to equal civil rights with other citizens of the United States. And that is the flaw right there. That is the flaw right there. You see that actually somebody used common sense, and then somebody else overturned that to allow illegal immigrants to do that. In line with Howard's and Connor's understandings, the final text of the citizenship clause featured no language bearing the children of immigrants from citizenship. The Supreme Court affirmed their understanding in Wong Kim Ark, where it rejected claims that children born in the United States to non-citizen parents were not themselves citizens. It makes sense to me. I don't know why people argue that. All right, here we go. Here we go. What are the consequences of ending birthright citizenship? Now, this is where I'm probably going to be looked at as a hypocrite or a bias, because I already have my opinions of what I think about childbirth citizenship till this day. Okay? We can go back 4 years in the Biden administration, but till this day, I will say that. Okay? This is where I will probably go against it. Trump's executive order would cause major problems across the country if it were allowed to go into effect. Lawyers challenging the order believe that hundreds of thousands of children in the United States would be denied citizenship, thereby creating a new subclass of people lacking the full rights and protections long enjoyed by citizens. Now, I really want to point out, now when you guys read documents, do you guys always pause to think about what you just read? I want you to read this with me again, and I want you to pay attention to what it says. 99 people will understand this. Lawyers challenging the order believe that hundreds of thousands of children in the United States would be denied citizenship, thereby creating a new subclass of people lacking the full rights and protections long enjoyed by citizens. This right there tells me illegal immigrants do not have full rights nor protections as the American citizens have. Somebody challenged me with that. Let's take a look. Thank you, Trump, for allowing farmers to sell less soybeans. Whatever, bro. Patience. We'll see what happens. 2026 is going to be a great year. Hey, Lopez, if I enter Disney illegally and security catch me, what do they do to me? They kick me out of the park. Hello, common sense. Lopez. Man, I like it. Common sense. Let's see. Disney is a private corporation. Well, Arthur, the United States of America is a private country. You need permission to come into this country, sir. You didn't know that? A. Lopez, they didn't understand what you said, man. They didn't get it. But I get you. John Doe says, John Doe, this guy doesn't exist. Cody, you talking to me? Lifeline says, Disney doesn't have a constitution. This guy. I don't think. Here we are, guys. Here we are. Here we go. Anthony, they came here legally. That's different. That is different. All right. So, again, I want you to focus here. It's a new class. Right there. That's what I want you to focus on. Let me see. Can you read that? No, that's probably too small. My eyes are too blurry. Let me see if I can make this bigger. I think I can. Let's see. Does that help? Maybe a little bit more. You guys haven't seen it. Sorry, I haven't shown you. Let's see if that helps. Okay. Hopefully that helps. I'm not sure if it's readable, to be honest. All right. So, new subclass of people lacking the full rights and protections long enjoyed by citizens. Did you see the difference on that, right? That the migrants, illegal immigrants, do not have the same full rights and protections of American citizens. As I said before, the Constitution is for American citizens, which now blacks, which are not slave anymore, are also American citizens. All right. Additionally, without U.S. citizenship, some of these children could be rendered stateless, meaning that they will not be recognized as citizens of any country. As the United Nations Refugee Agency has noted, people who are stateless often lack access to basic rights and services, such as healthcare, education, and the ability to travel freely. Without U.S. citizenship, these children could also end up deported to foreign countries where they have never lived and where their welfare would be in danger. Oh. Wait, what do illegal immigrants do to their children? They bring them to another country, the United States of America, which they never seen before, where they may become homeless, living on a tent in a park because the parents brought them here illegally. Oh, man, it makes way too much sense. The order will also, oh, by the way, don't forget that these children will have the citizenship of their father. So whatever their father's from, he needs to take him back over there, raise them there. Then they can probably ask for permission to come back here and eventually really become an American citizen. It's not that hard. Not that hard. Besides, they will learn a second language if they haven't. That's just in the future. The order will also create significant administrative problems. Government offices would no longer be able to rely on birth certificates to determine citizenship. Well, the birth certificate will have to be nulled and a new one has to be updated. It's very doable, very easy. Birth certificate, born in the United States, nationality of the country of birth of the father. Who's the father? We don't know. Well, if it was an American woman, then that baby is a naturally born American citizen. If it's an illegal mother, where's the mother from? Well, that will be the nationality of that illegal child. You know what I find very interesting? Thank you, Toyota. What I find very interesting about these libtards and these fake hypocrite Democrats is that they fight for the right of a woman's body. They don't have a problem killing children in the womb. And yet they have a problem with this. How stupid is that? You morons are against this, but you're okay killing children in the womb. That's the mother's body, right? That's the mother's body. So why does the child of an illegal woman have so much rights if they're born in this country? Once they're in the womb, they're in here illegally because the carrier of that baby is illegal. Oh, man, it just makes too much sense. I'm sorry, guys. Makes too much sense. Hi, Elizabeth. Oh, you might not like this one today. You might not like this one today. Man. All right, here we go. The problem won't just be limited to the children denied citizenship under the order. Under the new legal regime, the order would create everyone would be vulnerable to having their citizenship questioned. I don't think so. I think if we go from today's date, going forward, anybody born between this date and this date, you guys should keep your citizenship. So if you're 20 years old, 10 years old, even if you're a 1-year-old baby and you were born here, we should allow that to be an American citizen. But going forward, from the time that everybody's going to start getting pregnant right now, boom, start popping those babies right now. Right now. Pop the babies. Pop the babies. They can still be, excuse me, they can still be American citizens. But going forth, after the ruling happens, nobody gets to be an American citizen by just simply having a pregnant woman come into the country. Do you know why they don't allow pregnant women to fly at a certain stage on pregnancy? I'll leave that for homework for you, okay? Here we go. Soon after the President Trump signed the order, many lawsuits were filed to challenge its constitutionality. Several federal district courts temporarily blocked the order from taking effect while they resolved those suits. In Trump versus Casa, the Supreme Court, by the way, everybody thinks that this is just about Mexicans or Hispanics. No, this is about Muslim, Somalis, about every single illegal immigrant from all over the country, okay? It's about all of them. And let's be honest, guys. When this thing happened down in California and throughout the whole country of the United States of America, this is a sign of why this should happen. This is a sign why it should have happened a long time ago. What do you see from ungrateful American-born children here? Because their parents are illegal, Now they have to fight the government. Instead of being a patriot, a loyal person to this nation, they become traitors by defending the nationality of their parents, thus making more sense that those children's nationality will become the father's and the mother's nationality and go back to their country. That makes sense. You have a lot of Chicanos here. I was born in America. Fudge! The American flag. They burn your flag. Yeah. That's what happens when you have illegals making babies in America. Now, for those illegals that made babies here that became citizens and they actually love the United States of America, I will have to fight for them and I have to make an exception. But everybody else burning my American flag, raising the Mexican flag, raising the Palestinian flag, F that. I don't stand for that. You want to raise the Mexican flag, you better raise the American flag. That's respect. I can respect that. In late June, a divided Supreme Court sided with the Trump administration on that issue, determining that the universal injunctions are unlawfully when they are not necessary to protect the rights of the people and organizations who brought the lawsuits. It sent the suits back to the lower courts to consider whether the rulings blocking the executive orders should be narrower, applying only to certain people or states rather than the entire country. And it permitted the federal government to move forward with the executive order in 30 days, time against anyone who was not protected by the revised rulings. Critically, the court did not rule on the constitutionality of the executive order, leaving that question open for another day. While this case offers the Trump administration an opportunity to enforce the order, it is unclear whether the administration will succeed. In July, lower courts issued new rulings affirming the nationwide reach of one temporary block on the order won by the state attorneys general and approving another block defending a nationwide class of plaintiffs. And crucially, while the Supreme Court's ruling did not address the legality of the order, most legal experts agree that it is clearly unconstitutional. It is highly likely that the court will be asked to resolve that question in the future. Now, let's see, what date was this from? Does anybody know when this shit happened? July 29th. I haven't heard anything after this, so I'm not going to speak on that. But you guys can see, man, you know, when we do homework, things look different. You know what I'm saying? You guys think that I hate, illegal immigrants. I don't hate them, but they cannot stay here. They cannot stay here. I think the United States of America is my priority. A lot of Hondurans have come here illegally as well. I don't defend that. Okay? I defend the American people. And if you're going to be a migrant in this country, you better start respecting American people. That's what I got to say. Okay? That's where I'm at, and that's what we're actually going to be leaving it as. All right. With that being said, okay, anybody wants to call in, and Anthony G said, Dennis, read the comments. We can all read our own. What? Let's see. All right, let me start from a little bit here. Elizabeth says, absolutely, but I don't know what she's saying absolutely to. Sorry. Hopefully she's agreeing with me. If you fully trust either side, you're in La La Land. Yeah, I got my questions, buddy. But so far, so far so good. I know it's drastic measures, but I know sacrifices, even some of the hard decisions that need to be made, it needs to be made. Okay? You might not like what's happening, but at the same time, you didn't do anything to stop the mass invasion into this country. So now you get to sit there, shut up, look pretty, record everything you want, but illegal immigrants, they got to go. All right? Simple as that, guys. Come on. Let's see. Roman Rogers, Anti-Fury. I am him. Take the hat off. Why? Why? Are you trying to infringe into my First Amendment rights as an American citizen? Can't do that. Yeah, rules for thee, not for me, says this Buddha. All right, Elizabeth says, in your opinion, what does MAGA really stand? Oh, MAGA. What MAGA really stands for? Ronald, welcome, my friend. MAGA. Well, here is what it says: Make America Great Again. You say, when was America great? Well, America was great when we had our manufacturers here in America, when Americans were put first instead of illegal immigrants. America was great when the priority of the government was to make sure that all American citizens were taken care of and protected by the borders that we have. They didn't do that. So we want that back. We're getting it back. We're doing it. And after J.D. Vance gets in office, we're going to say, keep America great. I think that will be the next slogan. Maybe they will make a different one. But I believe that. I truly believe that. You're welcome, Tiffany. Oh, wait, I think it was answered to Elizabeth as well. All right, keep the hat on, says the sauce, though. And hot sauce has a lot more pull than you do, I am. So, yeah, you lose. Epstein list hidden. So far, so good, says Lifelight. Well, actually, guys, we all know the Epstein files have been released. It's in the court's hands now. Let them do their thing, and then, we'll figure out what's going on with our side. Let's see. Ronald in the house. Dennis, how much college do you have to speak on these matters? Jeff, how much college do you have to speak on these matters? College is a waste of time, my friend. Did you see how I was reading the whole document? Did you see how I was interpreting the whole document? Do you think I did a college to tell me how to do that? I mean, I did go to college, but that's none of your business. What I'm saying is that what you go to school for, it's you learn how to read, you learn how to write, you learn your math, you learn your history, learn how to become a patriot, do your civic duties in this country. And if you need some extra help, then you can reach out to extended, institutions to learn more about something. But I don't need some professor to read this to me so I can, what? Have him tell me what I should believe instead of making my own decision? I don't think so. Tiffany says, you don't need a college indoctrination center to be educated. Ah, my God, this woman is smart. She must have been a Charlie Kirk's follower. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Yeah, don't be so shallow, bro. Let's see. So mean to tell me that high-paying people have no college experience. What I mean to tell you is that I work with people that spend $80,000 in college, and I was making more money than they were in the position that they wanted. I don't know. There you go, my friend. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? Let's see. Trinity. Trinity's back? What? Where's Trinity? She's not back. I would have noticed. Or Trinity's not in the house. She has some appointments. Mofos acting like America isn't still the best country in the world, says that sauce, though. Let's see. Sean Kurz, Dennis. Off-snap judges blocks some suspension. Man, I think we need to get rid of some judges, to be honest, man. Let him keep the hat on, because it makes it easier to spot the smart man. Thank you, DOA. You're a true Buddha. Ah, man. Compliments of JLP, my friend. Compliments of JLP. Let's see. What else we got? Rodolfo, I love you too, random citizen. The newborns, infants, babies, and children give SNAP food. Yeah, that's true. I said that earlier. Maybe some people missed it. All right, we got 50 people watching, and I got rules. Once we hit 50, I am off. So that means, oh, shoot, I can't go nowhere because I'm sick. All right, well, I'm going to go take a walk around the block at least. Oh, even though I can't breathe right now. All right, people, love seeing you in here. Good comments, good questions. Minimum insults. That was very nice. Very, very nice. Tiffany's Bunny Gang says it's the parents' responsibility to take care of their children, not the United States government with our tax dollars. I agree. Temporary help is nice when you need it, but you should never depend on it to be here in the States. And I'm going to tell you something. I know you don't want to hear it because they're not supposed to, but illegal immigrants have been depleting all of our resources. You think they're making money, paying taxes? They're not paying shit. The amount of money that they make. If they're paying taxes, they're using a fake social security number, and if they can pay taxes, they can reclaim taxes as well. So they're mooching and taking a lot of, oh my gosh, they're taking a lot of money away from our country, away from our economy. And then we wonder why people are not building anymore, because property taxes are going through the roof. They are wondering why they don't have enough housings anymore. They think that we need more building. No, they're not building fast enough. There's too many damn people in our country. Illegal immigration, mass illegal immigration is horrible for any country. Even Mexicans will tell you that. They're deporting everybody from Mexico. Everybody. They shut down the border on the south of Mexico. They sent over 10,000 National Guard troops down to the southern border. We're not the only ones. Mexico's doing it too because they know it's bad. Right? Oh, Will Cellulite Podcast in the house. This brother knows what I'm talking about. Man, you know, you can call me traitor. You can call me hater. All this other stuff. That's okay. But I am here to fight for America. I am very grateful. My mother's bones rest on this land. And I am going to be fighting for this land because my children's future are in this land. I hope that you think the same way. Fight for your children, American citizens and residents. Fight for it. Because if you don't fight for it, your children definitely are not going to fight for it. With that being said, Pamela says, God bless America. And Dennis, thank you, Pamela. I am calling it 56 people. I got to go shower, got to go for a walk, and I got to get ready for my next live, guys. Thank you guys so much. If you've been here, Will, peace out, brother. Thanks for stopping by, saying hello. Appreciate you. Love for you, my man. Tiffany, great job. Great comments. I appreciate it. You're awesome. I love women that are smart, educated, and are wise. And well, my Trinity is not here, but you will take that credit today, Tiffany. Hopefully Stephanie, not the guy, you know what I'm saying? Well, whatever. I appreciate you. Sean Kearns, you as well, my friend. For your breathing, use humidifiers. I do have one. Hot herbal tea. Thank you, Tiffany. Much love. If you have chills, take hot shower. I will take a hot shower right now, but wrap up and sweat, lower your temperature. Thank you, brother. No fever right now, so that's a good thing. Let's see. There you go. Tiffany fight for her kids' future. That's it, baby. That's what we got to do. Anthony G, you got to stay. Let's make a wall on Canada. No. Let's make Canada join us. Oh, my God. On top of that is an army of servers. Man. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go buy. Is it okay if I eat sushi? Because with sushi, they gave me this little thing of ginger. I'm going to tear that up. Hopefully that helps. I used to hate sushi, but I love it now. I just can't buy it all the time. Anyways, guys, thank you for your love. Thank you for subscribing. You guys are amazing. You really are. I'm not. I don't like to kiss ass, but if that's what you want to call it what you will. I appreciate every single one of you guys, even the ones that hate me. I know why. I know. Trust me, I know. I see the same results when I go to Democrat chats or whatever. The people are saying the same things about them as well. So what I do know is that America first, please. Always fight for American citizens and residents. Illegal immigrants, do not encourage that bad behavior. They will never love you. They will never respect this country. And it's very, very rare if there is people that really want to be here and help you get ahead. A spoonful of wasabi. Oh, hell no. That's got to be a black thing. That's got to be a black thing because, man, wasabi is the worst, bro. Oh. Oh, shit. All right, Tiffany. Oh, thank you for clarifying. Definitely a woman. Strong, smart, and wise. My goodness, that husband is a lucky dude. Mike Bibbin says, what up, Dennis? Peace and love, fam. Oh, man, I'm saying goodbye, man. I just can't say goodbye to everybody. I really appreciate the support, guys. I really do. All right, I'm going to try to come back live later this afternoon. Depending on what time I get done with what I got to do around here, I'll probably come on at 4 or 5. I know that all the other Patriots are on live around that time as well, but I will try to be here for you guys. Guys, thank you so much. I'll be back here about maybe 5 p.m. At the latest, but I might come in sooner. There's a lot to talk about. We just barely touched the tip of the iceberg on this illegal immigration and putting Americans first. Guys, till next time, you all be blessed. Enjoy. This is not the words that you want to hear, but it is what you're going to hear.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't